The following is a special presentation of TNN Motorsports. Wisconsin, where men play their games with passion. And when it comes to racing, it's where heroes are made and legends are born. A place where champions come from, winning by self-determination. And just down Interstate 94 is a small town where a new name in racing has his roots. Matt Kenseth, who has burst onto the NASCAR Busch Series scene with 2 wins and the series point lead. But it won't be easy today with names like McLaughlin and Earnhardt to deal with. Today, we're at the Milwaukee Mile. Cinch up and hang on. Motorsports and the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing welcome you to the July 4th weekend motorsports extravaganza here in Milwaukee. Today, for the 8th time ever, the NASCAR Busch Series has come to the Milwaukee Mile. Today, 250 miles, 250 laps in the DieHard 250. Hi, everybody. I'm Eli Gold. Welcome to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We certainly hope you're having a wonderful July 4th weekend. It was a pretty darn good weekend for Elton Sawyer until qualifying wrapped up here at the Milwaukee Mile yesterday. That's the lead storyline for today's DieHard 250. Elton was on the pole. His run disallowed. He starts at the end of the field. The youngsters are running awfully quickly, from Matt Kenseth to Dale Earnhardt Jr. and on down the line. And then this is a flat racetrack, a track that requires a very special touch to negotiate correctly. We'll talk about that as well. But the lead story, obviously, the fact that our pole sitter, Elton Sawyer, had his run disallowed. Let's pick it up with more from the garage area.
Thank you, Eli. Kevin Triplett is Director of Operations for NASCAR. Kevin, what was the issue involving the gasoline in the 38 car?
It's pretty simple, Steve. We have a specification test that we run to meet the specifications that we have for fuel. We take a sample as soon as we get here from Unocal and may take even more throughout the weekend. We take a sample from each team, and then we take the top 5 again after qualifying, and we test it. It's a very simple test, go, no go. If it meets specifications, fine. If not, if say after qualifying, the time is disallowed.
Okay, let's go now to Randy Pemberton.
Well, Steve, the unfortunate driver that will have to start at the back of the pack here this afternoon, Elton Sawyer. I know you probably don't know what happened to the fuel, but your thoughts on it?
Well, I don't, Randy. You know, I just drive the thing. I don't put gas in it. But unfortunately, it's embarrassing for me. Our race team, Barbasol, our sponsor. But we've still got a great car. We can start at the back and win this thing. Unfortunately, what happens in a situation like this is we don't have a Union 76 pump to pull up to here. We had to bring fuel from home, and you know, it's kind of a ball and strike call, and we got called for a strike, and we got to go to the back, but we're coming to the front.
Okay, that's Elton Sawyer. That's not the first time that this has happened this year in the Busch Grand National Series. It also happened to Ron Hornaday when he was driving the 59 car in Nazareth. Now let's go upstairs to Eli Gold.
So those explanations as recorded earlier today, but let's talk about some of the other fellas who are already having a good weekend. Buddy Baker is with us, and the youngsters are tough here today.
Hey, they're smoking. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has already won twice this year. Casey Atwood second in his second start at Nashville, Tennessee. Then you have Tony Stewart. He's a factor every week. And Elliott Sadler, you go right on down the line. There's so many young drivers that are going to make future stars. And they're so exciting to watch. You will love this race today, I promise you.
And you love this racetrack, as Winston Cup Series crew chief Larry McReynolds will tell you. You've got to be set up and have a very special touch on a flat 1 mile, don't you?
Well, Eli, this is a flat racetrack. And talking with the crew chiefs, what they've really worked on is getting their cars to go through the center of the corner. They've been telling their drivers, look, we can't win this race by beating them into the corner. We got to be able to come up off the corner and make our passes there on the straightaway. Another element, this track is known for long green runs. so fuel mileage could be an issue today.
And it is a blustery, blustery day, but we are so happy you're with us. Hope you can enjoy the rest of this July 4th weekend with us on TNN Motorsports. The starting lineup for the DieHard 250 next. Live coverage of the DieHard 250 is being brought to you by Texaco. Texaco, a world of energy. And by the more than 19...
Poor girl. I've known her for 2 years now, working with her, or 3 years really, and I think she's done the 2 races she didn't have fun. Every time she comes in, it's TNN Motorsports live coverage of the DieHard 250 is being brought to you by Texaco. Texaco, a world of energy. And by the more than 1,900 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. Let's check out the starting lineup for this DieHard 250. 5th career pole, Jeff Purvis. 2 wins for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Joe Bessie won the pole at New Hampshire. And Kevin LePage, who finished 3rd at Loudon. New daddy Phil Parsons, and on down the line. Hey guys, you can't count out Dick Trickle here today. You never can count him out. He almost won the race here a couple of years back. His fun was about 3 or 4 laps to go, and he got just a little bit off the groove.
You see Tony Stewart there, row number 8. He missed the driver's meeting. He's going to have to start all the way back in row number 21. That's the penalty. Missed the driver's meeting. You start at the back of the field. Chicago's Bobby Dotter loves this racetrack, and that's got to mean a lot when you come to a place you enjoy, Larry Mack.
Well, it's a place you know he's familiar with and run a lot of races here. And yeah, you know, it's kind of like being at your own home. You know, you're just comfortable there, and you can certainly perform well when you're comfortable.
Kat Teasdale, car number 54, the 6th female driver to ever start a NASCAR Busch Series race. Elton Sawyer, shotgun, we told you, with the fuel problems, his starting position disallowed. He and Tony Stewart now at the back of the field. The AutoZone prep for the race shows you the numbers and what they're chasing today. $518,000. Mike Wallace, still the track record holder here at the Milwaukee Mile. We've got a lot of cars that'll be carrying cameras for us today here on TNN Motorsports. And throughout the course of the day, we'll be riding with Phil Parsons, brand new daddy. He and his wife Marcia had kids, just twins the other day, just shortly after the race at Pikes Peak. Kevin LePage. There is Kat Teasdale from Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin. Dick Trickle. Mark McFarland giving us a ride around the Milwaukee Mile. And there is Shane Hall. Big A Auto Parts sponsorship coming over there mid-season. And it's amazing what dollars have done for that operation. They are a major factor each and every time out. 9 degrees of banking, basically flat, 250 laps, 250 miles around the Milwaukee Mile. Green flag, and we are underway. There goes Purvis wide in the 4. Earnhardt Jr. and Bessie challenging off the corner. And to the stripe. It'll be Bessie and Earnhardt Jr. vying for the honors in lap number 1.
Dale Earnhardt needs to get down in that corner there. The preferred line is right around that yellow part of the racetrack, right around the bottom. He was lucky that LePage there in 3rd place gave him a little break there and let him in line, but he was out of position there for a second.
Kevin LePage's view, he's in 3rd with Bessie and Dale Earnhardt Jr. ahead of him.
See Jeff Purvis coming back there. You know, it's like he got a little bit wide in that first set of corners up there in 3 and 4, maybe because of low air pressure. Looks like he's coming back now. You see the bottom groove of this racetrack. It was repaved 2 years ago, had a lot of grip last year. The driver set out for 2 winners. It's actually losing a little bit of the grip that it had like last year.
There's Purvis. That is the car he drove in Nazareth, Pennsylvania. And think of this, folks, on flat 1-mile tracks. Purvis, the 4th car in line there. He was 4th at New Hampshire this year, 2nd in Nazareth, 5th at the new track at Pikes Peak International Raceway. This is his style of racetrack, and there he goes to 3rd against LePage. Kevin
LePage could not keep the car down. He got in the gray part of the racetrack there. The preferred line around the bottom is so much better because it is newer. The old gray part is the part just out of the racing groove that you can see right there. There goes
Purvis to go wide again.
Okay, I know what he's doing. Getting in the corner. His car is just a little bit loose right now, and he's chasing.
Bill Parsons there in the 10 just scrubbed the wall coming off the corner, and that's why he is all of a sudden dropping way back. You see him being bypassed now to 26th position. And here's Tony Stewart and Elton Sawyer. You see near the back, the Barbasol 38, the Shell 44. They're working their way up towards these two fellas, Joe Bessie and Dale Earnhardt Jr., who pulled away by a 1.5 seconds now from that battle for 3rd place.
See, Jeff Purvis lost about 2 more spots on that one little slip there. Don't take much here, but here goes Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the lead on the inside of Joe Bessie in turn 1.
So Dale Earnhardt Jr. adds to his series of races led. 9 races now this year. He has already led, this being race number 17 of the season. Now with David Green in the 36, battling Purvis. Shane Hall in the 85 behind them draws in as we ride with Shane.
Talked to Jeff this morning. He said his car has been loose getting in the corner because they've been trying to work on it, turning from the center off.
He just can't stay low. You see it, guys, every time in the corner he's kicking out.
Eli, whether he likes it or not, he's going to have to wait until they adjust on that car a little bit because he can't overdrive the car and let him break loose that many times without sooner or later losing the race car getting in the corner.
Elton Sawyer and Tony Stewart making their way from the back of the field towards the front, the 44 and the 38 respectively. They are now running back in 35th and 36th position. They go by the 80 machine of Mark Crowe.
I know these guys are wanting to get to the front, but this is a 250-lap race. They're going to have to show some patience here. Goodyear has brought a great race tire here. A lot of staying power. Don't give up. So they don't really have to worry about completely abusing their tires, but they are going to have to show some patience until they get some track position later on in the race.
So they're working their way up through race traffic, while up front we see LePage scrambling with David Green right there. That's 4th place up for grabs, with Mike McLaughlin right behind them as well.
David Green had gotten all the way up to the quarter panel going down the back straightaway there and just eased out of it. Like you said, Larry, he has a lot of Winston Cup experience. He knows he does not have to make that pass. It's not a matter of life or death this early in a race.
I was talking to someone this morning. They said the biggest thing David's got to adapt to now is not being able to get those fresh tires every time that caution comes out. The tire rule here today is you have 2 sets in the pits that you can use under caution. Of course, you can change as many as you want under green, but only 2 sets in the pits for caution.
Let's check in with Randy Pemberton down on pit road.
Just one other thing to add about that. Yes, David Green was one guy that was concerned about tires, trying to get used to that again and here in the Busch Series as opposed to being in the Winston Cup Series. If you're curious about the pit window on how far they can go on gasoline, they can run right around 100 laps. So we should see a myriad of pit strategies here this afternoon, depending on when the caution comes out and depending on where you're running on the racetrack. We may see cars in the back of the pack ducking on and changing 4 tires. Could change the whole complexion of this race about midway through. So back upstairs.
We are 11 laps in to the 250 that make up the DieHard 250. There's your leader, while everybody just waits and watches in the early stages in Milwaukee.
Did she count you down?
Yeah.
I wonder if she can count in our ears too. Yeah, okay. Because we had no idea.
No, I was fixing to fire off there. I didn't know we were going.
Somewhere out there, somebody's putting water down on the racetrack. They say it's either the 83, the 66, the 33, somewhere.
Meanwhile, goodbye. Yeah, they are. They're all the way up to Foster right now. Sawyer, all they got to do is promise to.
I don't know if it was Larry or Buddy who said this, but I checked on the 4 car, and it was. They were just waiting for the tire pressure to build up, so he's okay.
That was Larry.
Hey, what are you guys hearing about that fluid?
It's somewhere, either the 33, 83, 66. They're not quite sure.
Yeah, 66 is not making a move. They haven't heard anything, so I'll go down and check.
Outside.
64, it might be even him too.
Okay.
He's out there.
Everybody's just trying to. There was smoke coming out of the 64's header pipes. Let's get somebody to 64.
I'm getting 64. I'll check.
Thanks.
Oh. That was a pretty good lick there.
Yeah.
Trickle.
TNN Motorsports live coverage of the DieHard 250 is being brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. At Napa, we keep America running. Welcome back, everybody. There is Dick Trickle as Matt Kenseth does a 360 plus another 180.
It's backwards.
He was running in 9th spot as you listen in.
Keep going, no yellow.
The biggest problem he's got will be getting back to the bottom of the racetrack to get in line before the leaders come back around.
He does wait. And no caution. No caution. Matt Kenseth with a big spin kept it away from the wall and continues around. We were also showing you Dick Trickle's car just as we came back from commercial break. We were starting to see some smoke coming out of his car. But first to Kenseth outside of LaJoie.
Randy LaJoie got into the left quarter panel there of Kenseth, and around he goes. Luckily, did not make any contact to the outside wall, but he definitely made some dents there on the right front corner of LaJoie's car also.
Buddy, the big thing he's got right now, he's only about a half a straightaway in front of the leaders. Hopefully he did lock those tires up in flat spot because that can really make that car ill-handled.
Well, about half of that race tire, when they stand like that, it takes all the rubber off. It goes right to the cord, so you're running around there on a bad tire.
And you see that smoke right there, folks? Not to cut you off, buddy, but you see that smoke, folks, come right out of the header pipes. Dick Trickle, Steve, I guess he's got a problem in the making here.
Yeah, he sure does, Eli, but I just talked to Dennis Shoemaker, the owner of the car. He does not know what the problem was. In fact, they were hoping that the caution would come out when Kenseth went around there, but he said the car's running fine, but they do not know what it is.
there's something very, very wrong. When he backs off there, it's pushing the oil out of the left pipe there. As you can see right there, a lot of times that's either a steam or a smoke off the oil itself. So right now he's got a major problem.
Well, the strange thing about it, it looks like it's only coming out when he's off the throttle, right down in the center of the corner. So that could be something to do with a cylinder head or something there. It'd be interesting to see. But when you're looking at only 19 laps on the board here, he's got a lot of laps to run with that thing smoking that way.
That's too bad for Dick Trickle. Obviously a favorite from up here in Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin. We are now just 20 laps in. Dale Earnhardt Jr. leading by a second over Joe Bessie. There's the man up front. Dale Earnhardt Jr. took the lead at lap number 5. We're now at lap number 21.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., I talked to him in the pits this morning, and one thing he said, I'm a little bit loose, but I want to run the car that way. Right now he's out by himself and having to run real hard to stay ahead of Bessie. That condition does not get better, but if he gets in lap traffic, the loose race car will work, Larry.
Yeah, well, you can notice he's been letting his car kind of drift up in the center of the corner, and that's a sign that, yeah, I don't want to turn this steering wheel. It's a little bit too loose.
There's Jeff Purvis right there in third. He is now 2 9/10 seconds behind Dale Earnhardt Jr., the race leader. Then you go back to the next man in line, or woman in this case. That would be Kat Teasdale, having gone a lap down just moments ago. The Stanley, that yellow car, that's David Green, who was fourth at Watkins Glen a week ago in his first run for that operation. And David is in fourth. The white machine going around Teasdale, that's Mike McLaughlin, 6 seconds behind the leader. He's running in the 5th spot. There's Kevin LePage. He's in 6th, 7.2 seconds back of Earnhardt Jr. Then Shane Hall in the 85, and that green and blue 37 for Mark Green. So they're all tied tightly together. And there's the youngster in that white car right behind. That's Casey Atwood from Nashville, Tennessee, running in 9th, and the series defending champion twice now, defending the championship, Randy LaJoy. He is running 10th. Top 10 are separated by 9 seconds from the leader, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Behind LaJoy, there's his corporate teammate, Tim Fedewa, from Base Motorsports, sponsored by the Kimberly-Clark Corporation. They're based here in Wisconsin. There in the Luxair car, that's Glenn Allen Jr., who won the Badgerland 150, the ASA race here in Milwaukee a number of years ago. There's Dale Fishline at the back of that pack right there, the number 70, Dave Marcus's former crew chief in NASCAR Winston Cup racing, and he's got a problem now. He is backslid to 37, and he is now, you see, in just the span of a few moments, lost some 4 miles an hour to the speed being set by that guy right there.
Yeah, he's definitely off the pace line. Right now, the way Earnhardt's running, a lot of these guys are in trouble because he's lapping good race cars early in the race because his car is turning in the center part of the corner. And most of them have been complaining about the cars will not turn in the center part of the corner, and they keep going straight out towards the wall.
That's a good battle for 18th, and again, you're seeing the handle on one car, the 66 Elliott Sadler, versus that wider line the 63 is taking Tracy Leslie.
I just had a report that they may have to flag the 64 car triple because of the smoke that's going on the racetrack. It must be putting some fluids out.
That orange 83, that's Wayne Grubb, and we've got caution. Turn 4, there's a spin for Mike Dillon. So we are under caution. Dillon was running in 25th position at the time of the accident. So 26 laps complete. Mike Dillon brings out the caution with a spin in turn 4, and it is a chance for that man, Dick Trickle, to come down pit road and find out exactly what ails his car. Back on TNN in a moment. Martha, water?
I'm a water man. I wear it out.
Is that yours? You haven't...
That'll help you lose that.
Oh,
Do it too.
Look at this. I got ribs.
But you didn't know you had.
Eli, trickle this down pit road.
Alrighty. Welcome back to the Milwaukee Mile. Under caution, we know that Dick Trickle occasionally likes to smoke, but he hates it when his car does. Let's get an update from pit road.
And Eli, unfortunately, the smoke is gone on the car because he has shut the motor down on the number 64, the Wisconsin legend Dick Trickle, and do nothing but sit in the car and watch as the hood goes up, and it looks like it's terminal for the afternoon.
Other pit stops taking place. Phil Parsons is in. You see Ed Berrier is in. So too Cat Teasdale. Here comes Matt Kenseth right there into your picture. Again, he does have that wrinkled right side from that spin, the bump and go with LaJoy earlier.
Well, and also what Larry Mack mentioned, I imagine all those tires are flat spotted, so he's going to take on some tires. Most likely, they're working on the right front corner very hard right now.
Coming into turn 3.
He's definitely the one that benefited the most from this caution because he was with him in about a half a straightaway and going a lap down. Of course, he's a serious points leader. There you see Phil Parsons. And with only 27 laps on the board, you notice none of the leaders really come in. Again, they've got to make these tires go 80 or 90 laps. Fuel window's over 100 laps. Now, if you're to tail into the field, you have nothing to lose by coming in and topping off for fuel, maybe adjusting on your car a little bit.
I noticed that Kenseth did not change the tires. They felt around the tires and apparently kept the brake off enough and kept the rear wheel spinning enough not to flat spot the tires, so he's back underway.
So there is Kenseth. You saw Dick Trickle's car being pushed behind the wall. Other pit stops over the last few moments. We have seen Ron Hornaday in the car that is normally driven by Robert Presley. There's Dale Fishline in again. If you're curious, with that postponement of the Pepsi 400 at Daytona, Dick Trickle obviously did come north to run for the Shoemaker team, but a commitment had already been made by the Kingsford folks to Ron Hornaday, and even though Robert Presley would have been available with the postponement at Daytona, Presley would have been available to be here. They said, no, we've got the commitment to Ron Hornaday. He ran here yesterday and finished 4th in the Craftsman Truck Series race. We'll just stick with him, and Robert Presley got the weekend off. Steve Burns is down in the Kenseth pit with an update on that team.
And as you said, Eli, the 17 of Matt Kenseth just hit pit road. Robbie Reiser, what'd you do to the car? What's it look like?
We got a little damage on the right side. The car's a little bit tighter at the beginning. I don't think the damage is really going to cause a whole lot of an effect. I mean, sure, it ain't going to be quite as aerodynamic as what it was, but I think the Lyco Chevrolet will be okay.
Thank you, Robbie.
Robbie Reiser, nice guy in this business.
You know, you saw he did have some damage there to the right front, and of course, you want to keep that front end just as clean as you can because front downforce, which the front end certainly plays a role in, these cars fight turning in the middle, and you don't want to disturb that front end at all. So it could be a long day here if you don't have the front downforce on the car like you need to.
Following the ups and downs of Elton Sawyer and Tony Stewart, if you're just joining us, Elton was the man quickest in qualifying yesterday. But when a question arose as to the legality of his fuel, he was put to the back of the field. There he is, now running in 22nd position. You've also got Tony Stewart, who missed the driver's meeting and started at the back. He has worked his way up to the 24th position. So they've gone about halfway up through the field right now. Let's get an update from pit road.
Well, I talked with Aiken Sutton Motorsports guys down here. They absolutely think that Elton Sawyer is going to the front. Car is working, but I have one little update from down here. They've been talking about going to a 2-car team this operation, and if we can let you in possibly a little secret, I noticed Jeff Green sitting up on the box back here in Elton Sawyer's pit, so that could very well be the next driver of a 2nd-car team here for Elton Sawyer.
You saw the guy that Jeff Green stood down and talked to there. That's Wes Ward, who just moved over to that race team. Well, Wes brings a lot to the party there as we go back green here on lap 32.
That white 14 that you see, Patty Moise, she is a lap down as she ran alongside the leaders.
Earnhardt Jr. got a great jump on the rest of the field there. He got about a 15-car length lead, as you can see right there. Joe Bessie with black car now, 2nd-place runner there. And you can see now that Purvis has worked his way into 3rd place after a dismal start where he couldn't get the car into the corner.
How long before the tire pressure builds back up on a car like Purvis, who no doubt started this race down on tire pressure, and here he moves inside of Joe Bessie? How much running do you have to do before the pressure will naturally build up?
Well, you know, it depends on how low they started the pressure, and the recommended air pressure here is 20 pounds on the left side, 30 on the right side. Normally, teams will drop them down about 5 or 6 pounds, and the reason they do that, Eli, is because they're going to build so much pressure at the end of a long run, you need to start them down just a little bit. So, you know, if they started them 5 or 6 down, 10 or 12 laps into run is when they start really building the pressure enough for the car not to feel wormy on fresh tires.
Ron Hornaday is on pit road again here at lap number 33. He was in at lap number 28, and they're back in again. Meanwhile, Dick Trickle apparently done for the day, Steve Burns.
Yeah, Eli, they pulled behind the pit wall. Dick, short afternoon, what put you out?
Well, we've brought an all-new Snyder Chevrolet here, and I'll tell you what, we got all bugs worked out. The car was handling great. We thought in the happy hour that we weren't handling down the straightaway very well yesterday, so they put a different motor in this morning. And right off the bat, it didn't run. Then it started smoking. So, you know, the boys tried real hard. And, you know, we had a great car. It's a big one to drop on because Snyder's home state, my home state. I hate it for everybody involved.
Tough break for Dick Trickle. Always a good story when he's out there on the racetrack. Mid-pack, 28, that white car. Casey Atwood behind him. Glenn Allen, the 99 machine. They're all well behind Earnhardt. Heck, second place, Purvis is 2.5 seconds now behind Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Eli, that double zero there, Buckshot Jones is looking for a great run today, though, and he's starting to move up towards the front as we speak, and he knows how to win here.
NASCAR timing and scoring brought to you by the folks at MCI. Patty Moise, that white car to the outside. The faster cars go to the inside. "36 laps in. Hermie Sadler and that DeWalt, that yellow number 29 right there in the back of this particular line. Did you see the front of Mike Pope's car? Caution, caution, turn 2 has problems for Mark Krogh as he tags the wall significantly, and caution is on the speedway. Caution, lap 37 for the second time this afternoon. You saw Krogh moving just a bit there in the car, but now the front end of Pope's machine doesn't look that bad, but he also had some damage somewhere.
Tremendous damage there, and you can see the radiator is broken there. You can see the steam coming out of the front of the car. I'd say his day's over.
Yeah, he's definitely got way too much damage. I don't think you'll ever get that back in the race today. A lot of damage to the tire front.
Let's see what happened.
Like he got a little bit sideways there. Maybe got a little help hard into the outside wall. Really hard there.
He had Hooper going by to the outside, but it looked as though they were cleared, and look at that.
I'm telling you, that thing almost got on top of the wall there.
That concrete wall don't move a bit, does it, buddy?
Nope, I've tried them all my racing career. I never won.
And there's Mr. Krogh, obviously a bit dazed. You don't realize how fast they go, even on a mile track. I stood down in row 1 of the grandstands and watched practice, and it is just, I mean, it's a blur when they come by, even on a flat 1 mile track. 38 laps complete. Caution on the speedway. Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s lead of 2.5 seconds evaporates. We're back on TNN Motorsports in a moment.
Did you hear what I said? I tried them all my racing career. I never won. A lot of these guys like Phil Parsons now, this could be.
I don't have copy for any of that stuff. No, ma'am, nor the one that Martha gave. Wasn't in any of the packets. Or the stuff that Bill gave.
Is our mics not open in pits, are they? Hey, I'd be curious to know what they're doing, guys, Steve, Randy, what they're doing under the right rear of the 10 car.
I'm there. I'm trying to find it, Larry. Hang on 1 sec.
All right.
I'm not sure what that was, if it was a rubber, but I don't think that was it.
It looks like he was taking something loose or putting something on. I just couldn't really tell.
You don't think he's taking the rear bar loose?
Well, I thought about that.
That's track bar adjustment.
Track bar adjustment.
sway bar. No, sway bar, they said. That's it.
Okay.
They unhooking it, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Unhook the rear
That
sway bar
means
trick.
it's too loose.
Too loose.
They're unhooking it, Larry.
Okay.
That's a brake caliper on the 59, a Hornaday. Right rubber into the 63. Right rear rubber. Disconnect the sway bar on the 10. Are they going to take that kid to the hospital, you think?
Certainly to the infield one to start with. He's out of the car, but he took a hell of a lick.
He did?
Yeah. How many laps were they able to get? Oh, yeah.
Randy, he was standing on his own, though.
Okay, I'll shoot. All right. Is pit road is still open, right? Where was that wreck at?
Turn 2.
Okay. We're going to go to the hospital, see what we get.
Welcome back, everybody. Under caution here at the Milwaukee Mile due to Mark Pro's impact into the wall in turn 2, putting out a lot of fluid, and you see the resultant cleanup with the speedy dry. So while we have a moment, how about let's bring you the AutoZone Tech Fact, brought to you by the 1900 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts.
Last weekend, both the Winston Cup Division and the Busch Grand National Division were on road courses. The Winston Cup cars were in Sears Point, California, while the Busch cars were in Watkins Glen, New York. Now, if you're a big NASCAR fan, you probably know that the Winston Cup Series designs and builds cars specifically for road races. Yeah, they're allowed to offset their rear ends, offset their front ends, and try to trick up their bodies somewhat. Not so in the Busch Grand National Division. These cars are basically the same as they run on ovals. As a matter of fact, some of the cars that were in the Watkins Glen race last week are here today. Specifically this one, David Green's Stanley Tools Pontiac. Well, this raced to a 4th place finish last week at Watkins Glen. You'll notice right back here, this is where they fill the car up with gas. Not so here at the Milwaukee Mile. They will fill it up on the left-hand side. What are the other differences? Well, at Watkins Glen, you wanted your weight distribution to be 1,600 pounds on the right side of the car and 1,600 pounds on the left. That's the minimum they could weigh. Here at the Milwaukee Mile, 1,520 pounds on the right side of the car. You subtract that from the 3,300 pounds total weight, and that's what you want your car to weigh on the left side. Just another way that NASCAR is helping to control cost and make this division a lot more competitive.
Very interesting, Randy. Thank you so much. As we take a look at Mark McFarland, the driver from Winchester, Virginia, who has obviously the onboard camera there, and watch what he saw for Krog's problems.
Really hard to tell. He was always already out of shape there and just went hard to the right of that outside wall. Maybe got a little bit of help from the rear, but you know, it's like he was correcting, overcorrecting.
I was watching a white car there on the inside. Looks like it may have just had a little light contact there, and he tried to jerk the car away, and when he did, it took a set and just turned the car hard right towards the wall.
Yeah, real tough to tell, but something launched him, no doubt about it, and he took a heck of a lick. We'll get an update from the infield care center, though you did see that Krog climb from the car. The field is getting the 1 to go signal as they come back here this next time. Repeated pit stops over the last few minutes for Jeff Fuller. Ron Hornaday still on the pit lane. They've been doing what looks to be a total rebuild to the front, and they're going to go behind the wall. Hornaday's machine now being pushed behind the wall. There he goes to join Dick Trickle in the garage area, though it looks as though the brake problems that they've been working on, we're told now by the guys on pit road, probably fixable, but it's going to take a while. Let's get an update on tires from the pits.
Eli, you guys mentioned that the tire wear was going to be good here. Here's an interesting little fact. This is one of the right front tires that will go on Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s number 3 later on in the race. This is the same tire that the Winston Cup cars run on the right side at the Brickyard in Indianapolis, and it is the only time the Busch cars will run this particular compound in 1998.
You know, Steve, I'm going to add to that just a little bit. That's the same tire that we're going to run at Indianapolis that we run at Pocono this year, both races. And at Pocono, it was a great tire. A lot of staying power, not a lot of give up on the grip, and Goodyear just keeps getting better and better with those tires as far as not having to change them every caution.
Getting set to restart it, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jeff Purvis in second. David Green in third, Mike McLaughlin fourth, Joe Bessie is fifth, LePage is sixth, Shane Hall seventh, Randy LaJoy up to eighth now.
Get ready.
Everybody seems
Get
tight.
ready.
Get ready.
Green,
Get
go,
ready.
go, go.
Oh, great, great, great.
Crew chief telling them green flag to go back to racing here. Dale Jr. really getting that jump there, but Jeff Purvis not going to let him get away like he did on that last restart.
Jimmy Foster in the 50, not on the lead lap. That's why David Green made that evasive move to try and get around him. Good to see Foster back in that Dr. Pepper car after injuries of earlier this year. 6 is Bessie. He's running in 5th.
Really having to maneuver that lap traffic. That's the worst thing about restarts is the lap cars go to the inside, and of course the preferred groove is the inside, so you really have to contend with them there on restarts.
There you see Randy LaJoy right in that mix now, buddy, up from 18th spot.
Yeah, he's doing a great job today. He was one of the quickest cars in all the practice yesterday. He knows how to win here. Won last year here in the 74 car.
Around goes Foster. Around goes Foster, and he couldn't keep out of the wall. In 36th spot, already a lap down. We had just talked about him. No caution yet, but now it will be displayed. Caution for Jimmy Foster's spin in turn number 3.
Eli, with the 9-degree banking in the turn there, when it turns around like that, it's eventually going to the wall. You're not going to spin down.
This is 3 wide going into turn 3. Randy LaJoy, Shane Hall in the middle there.
Foster on the outside there. You see, they make just light contact getting in the corner there, and around went Foster. Now right into the outside wall with the back of the car.
Buddy, he was in the outside of that groove there, and there's not a lot of rubber down there, and it's hard to get adhesion up on that outer groove.
So the third car to go to the garage today, with Dick Trickle and Ron Hornaday being the first 2. It's a slow start here in Milwaukee.
They just did this. That's how simple it was.
That's all it was, yeah.
It was
Plus,
just
again,
that little bit.
He's there where there's not a lot of rubber down.
But he would have made that without that little, just that little. It don't take much. If you could get your arm out and just bump them, they turn them.
Yeah.
There's a few times I wished I could have. Oh, I didn't say that.
Can we get an update on the 59? TNN Motorsports live coverage of the DieHard 250 from the Milwaukee Mile is being brought.
Do me a favor. When you're going to do that, just put your hand up so we'll both try to get on the same deal.
Moving right together, aren't they? That ain't bad, 46 laps.
No.
David Green right now. He's just sitting there kind of doing his thing. Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
Larson, that's his second stop.
That's his first, second, third, fourth
stop. Yeah.
4 stops. TNN Motorsports live coverage of the DieHard 250 from the Milwaukee Mile is being brought to you by the more than 1,900 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. Welcome back, everybody, to America's legendary oval. We are at the Milwaukee Mile in West Allis, Wisconsin, just outside of downtown Milwaukee. Eli Gold, Buddy Baker, Larry McReynolds, along with Steve Burns and Randy Pemberton. Glad you're with us here on this beautiful, beautiful Sunday here in Milwaukee. It really is a great day for racing. They have a super crowd. Let's look around this place. I mean, they've added more grandstands, and they have filled those also. 95 years old is this racetrack. There's Randy LaJoy. Watch what happened with he and Shane Hall and Jimmy Foster a few moments ago.
Well, you see LaJoy on the inside there. They're going down in the corner. LaJoy comes up. Oh, a little bit of contact. That was what I was talking about.
That's what started it all.
Yep.
LaJoy nudging Shane Hall, who nudges Foster up into the wall. Phil Parsons on pit road again. So too Ed Berrier on pit road. There you see them pulling away. That's going to be the 5th stop here in the last few moments for Phil. And there's Blaze Alexander also in on the pit lane for more service. Whatever the problem is, clearly to the right rear of the Rescue Engine Formula Chevrolet. All right, quiz time, guys. We told you before that Kat Teasdale is the 6th female driver. She's in the race today. 6th female driver to ever race in a NASCAR Busch Series event. Do you know who the other 5 are? That is Kat right there. That's the easy one. She's here today. And so too is Patty Moe. So let's give that one out easily. That's 2 of the 6. Do you remember the others?
Sarah Christian, Flock.
Shauna Robinson.
There you go. That's number 3.
I'm thinking way back, probably before it was called Winston Cup.
Diane Teal. Remember Diane from Seaford, Virginia?
Yeah.
She ran. And then 2 other ladies.
Mr. Smart, he's got it wrote down over there, folks. He's cheating.
Did Janet Guthrie ever run
No.
Busch?
Now, the one I did know, there was only one I didn't know. I knew Debbie Lunsford. Her family owned the Lanier Raceway, and she ran there when the tour went there back in '89. And a young lady by the name of Lisa Jackson. That's one name I didn't know. June of '82 in Asheville, North Carolina. There is Patty Moise.
That was Phil Parsons that we were looking at just a second ago, yes.
So that's the 6 young ladies who have driven over the years in a NASCAR Busch Series race.
But he cheated, buddy. He had it
Yeah, he did.
I
Of
didn't
course.
cheat. It's
Yeah.
homework. I did my homework.
Yeah, but he's going to test us, right?
I would say it's because he's from Alabama, but I can't say that, right?
Because you're from Alabama,
right,
too.
exactly.
Ask him what sway bar he uses in Martinsville.
There you go.
Well, you can tell by my, well, forget it. I was going to say, I've never gotten through inspection in Martinsville anyway. Steve Burns is an update from the pit area.
Eli, quick update on the 20 car of Blaze Alexander. You documented that he was on pit road. They said the car was extremely loose all the way around the racetrack, so they came in, took spring rubbers out of the right and left rear of the race car.
So everybody trying to get these machines dialed into the flat track. It's not terribly hot here. It's in the mid-70s, but just flat old racetrack like New Hampshire or anyone else. Tough to get a hold of.
And what they've done there by pulling those spring rubbers out, they've actually softened those rear springs, and that'll make the rear tires bite harder, especially on acceleration up off the corner.
Exactly right. What you do, you get body transfer, weight that transfers back, and when it's softer like that, it puts more pressure on the tires itself, gives you more drive off the corner.
Just helps the tires grip a lot better.
Busy weekend coming up on TNN next weekend. Saturday here on TNN Motorsports. We've got all sorts of action for you. Twice the action, actually. We'll be with you at the New Hampshire International Speedway, the NASCAR Busch North Series, and the Featherlight Modified Tour in the Pennzoil doubleheader. That's at 1 p.m. Eastern Time next Saturday. Then the same fellas you're watching and ladies that you're watching right now, the NASCAR Busch Series, will run next Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time at the Myrtle Beach Speedway. Myrtle Beach 250, that's at 9 Eastern Time. And of course, next Sunday, 1 week from today, the next stop for the NASCAR Winston Cup teams. They'll take their tight point battle to Loudon, New Hampshire. The Jiffy Lube 300. You'll be able to get all the schedules right there at that address, country.com. That is TNN's home on the internet. Your personal source for all things country.
Speaking of Myrtle Beach, that kid leading the race right now, Dale Earnhardt Jr., that was almost his home track. He run there weekly.
And I think that's where he run his first Busch International race a couple years ago.
Right, exactly. Look at the bumper there on the 23 machine, Lance Hooper. Looks like somebody's taking a can opener to it.
Who says this in the contact sport?
There you go. All he needs to do is get one of those wrestlers from WCW. They'll just pull it right off. Remember the day Junior Johnson did that at Dover?
Just ripped it off with his bare hands.
Bumper off with his bare hands. Never forget that. Green flag. Dale Earnhardt Jr. leads him back to turn 1. Purvis is second. David Green third. McLaughlin fourth. Joe Bessie is fifth.
David Green having to work around the lap car, Patty Moise, but he clears it down the back straightaway there, running in third position. There you see Mike McLaughlin caught up behind Dale Fishline and Patty Moise. Purvis really gaining on Dale Jr. there in the center of the corner. Dale Jr. gets high.
As you said earlier, you could see the back end of the 3 car there. Earnhardt really wrestling that car coming out of the corner. Jeff Purvis does take the lead now. It took him a while to build the pressures up in those tires, as Larry Mack talked about. But right now, the 4 car is a rocket ship off the corner.
And you know what? If Jeff Purvis saw that that 3 car was loose, he knew all he had to do was get to his rear bumper. It didn't even make him looser.
And again, as we said earlier, Purvis on this kind of flat track has run well this year. There's Elton Sawyer in the 38, Dave Blaney in the 93, Jason Keller the 57. The significance, though, for Sawyer, he is now all the way up to 19th spot after starting dead last.
He's 19th, but just in front of him, Tony Stewart, who started dead last on the field, is just in front of him.
They were together there on the back row. Stewart now in 18th. He missed the drivers' meeting and had to give up his starting position in the 44 car and go to the back of the field. Closer to the front. Bessie's to the outside. In that black car, LaJoy follows him. There's that Slim Jim car. Mike Cope, still that dented nose on it. Elliott Sadler in the 66. Stewart the 44.
Tells me that Elliott Sadler is not running exactly like he wants to, because the 44 car was catching him all the way through the corner on the outside groove, not the good groove. So apparently Tony Stewart's car is working much better right now.
Scoring rundown brought to you by Napa. At Napa, we keep America running. Elliott Sadler just did make the move around Cope for 14th. Remember, here a year ago, Sadler was leading with 50 laps to go, and he grazed the wall coming out of turn 4, and then finished second to Randy LaJoy. That was Elliott's first ever start here.
Jason Keller there in the red 57 behind Elton Sawyer there. 5th in the points with no sponsor. I talked to him this morning. He said, you know, guys, if I can get me a sponsor for next year, I'll give him a bunch of races this year.
Sure.
Not only that, he'd be a guy that you'd be proud to have as somebody representing your race team, because he is a good fella. You know, he's just basically a good driver. If I was going to put money in the team, I'd certainly put it behind Jason Keller.
72, Mike Dillon, the 08 of Bobby Dotter from Chicago, both on the lead lap. This is for 20th spot.
There's Casey Atwood right now. He's back in the pack there fighting, learning a lot. Never been to this racetrack before, and I'm sure right now he's going, you know, I bet you I can make this car a lot better when I get to adjust on it a little bit.
Meanwhile, up front, guys, look at this. Earnhardt Jr.'s Chase Purvis down now.
Well, he won't wait long. He's not a patient runner. He wants to lead every lap he can. He might have had a situation there where he didn't clean the tires real good on the restart, went down in the corner and maybe twist out just a little bit. But you can see right now Earnhardt is one of the quickest cars on the track, period.
But you know what also will go on right here, as long as he can keep that car tucked underneath the 4 car there, it will take some of the looseness out of the race car, because it takes the downforce off the front end, even at the speeds here they run at Milwaukee.
Yeah, but it won't help Purvis any at all in that condition he had getting into the corner earlier on.
Absolutely not.
They've pulled by a second and a half from third place David Green. The battle is ongoing, and so is our coverage in front of a packed grandstand here in Milwaukee.
Good segment. Good segment.
Yep.
Catching and passing
good.
are 2 different things.
I thought so. Negative.
Oh, he's still overrunning that corner.
Here comes the 59 back onto the racetrack. He'll be 30 laps down.
30 laps and holding. Oh, look at this. McLaughlin finally got
out of the garage.
Look who's coming. Going. Getting in the corner. Race across a little bit. I watched him. He wins his races. He wins them by not running so slow. He runs slow. Very far to the back.
Sitting here nodding off. Oh, Patty.
Patio furniture.
Caution, caution.
They see these guys in this time. Maybe.
I would say. Yeah. Why not?
They can go the distance here for one stop.
They can run 110 laps on fuel with that. I do that.
Miss Moise.
Patty.
Under caution here at the Milwaukee Mile. That young lady, Patty Moise, just looping her car in turn number 2. Came at lap 64.
There she is getting into turn number 1 and 2 there. Just gets up high, gets a little bit of help there from the McFarland car and spins around. Fortunately, don't get into the wall and the caution didn't come out.
And we're darn close, guys, to pit stops, don't you think, here, too?
You did say a little help.
Just a little bit of help. I was trying to be diplomatic about it there.
Mark Krogh has just come out of the infield care center. Randy's with him.
Well, it sure took a while. Mark, you were in there for quite some time. You came out looking and feeling a little groggy. How are you?
Well, I'm all right. That's one good thing about having young bones in this business. You can still flex and bend a lot, and that's a pretty good shot. I hit that one pretty well straight on, but it's really unfortunate. I mean, we struggled yesterday. We broke a motor in practice, and we came back and had a pretty decent car, just taking our time, and somebody got a little too aggressive and decided to go from the outside groove to the inside groove, and unfortunately there's cars there and sent me into the wall. But
And that's Mark Krogh, another one of the young guns. Only his 34th start. I believe we might have some pit stops coming up, do we?
Indeed, for all the race leaders, Steve Burns.
And Jeff Purvis brings his car in. Dale Earnhardt Jr. brings the number 3 Chevy. Joe Bessie just behind him. They're putting the right side tires on. Danny Earnhardt carrying the tires on the front. Tony Eury Jr. having a little bit of a tough time on the right front. Now along to the left side of the tire. 4-tire change for Dale Earnhardt Jr. The gas goes in. No chassis adjustments. You must be happy with the car. Dale Earnhardt's down right behind Jeff Purvis. David Green comes out third. Mike McLaughlin. And Joe Bessie runs under some tires but makes it out cleanly otherwise.
All the lead machines now having elected to make their pit stops at lap number 65, 66.
We're clear.
Indeed, Kenseth is clear as he comes out. There's that tire that Bessie ran over, sitting at the head end of pit road. So the running order will remain as is. As Purvis is first in, first out. Earnhardt Jr. second in and out. And there's the crew to retrieve that errant Goodyear Eagle. The NASCAR Busch Series, having run here at the Milwaukee Mile since the mid-1980s. Well, they took a break. They ran here in 1984 and 85, and then the mile rejoined the schedule in 1993 under the new management of Carl Haas. Great names have won here. Sam Ard, Jack Ingram, Steve Grissom has won here, Mike Wallace, Dale Jarrett, Buckshot Jones, and Randy LaJoie, the winners over the years. Mike Dillon just picks up 5 bonus points as the race leader. He does not make a pit stop here, so Mike Dillon leads in Milwaukee.
Come on, let's have some green flag racing. Of course, I know this is helping on the brakes.
Yeah, it is. What are we looking at?
Well, ooh. Yep.
Yeah, that's part of.
That's part of it. That's not really out there.
I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah.
They used to put it. They used to put them closer to your car where you couldn't get out. You had to back up.
I think Buddy Parrott was probably the best in the business at that. Here, put it there.
Yeah.
Oh, move it a little bit.
Yeah, he can't get out without backing up. Yeah.
Featherlight, the official trailer of NASCAR, IndyCar, World of Outlaws, IRL, and a major sponsor of it. Featherlight, the official trailer of NASCAR, IndyCar, World of Outlaws, IRL, and a major sponsor of NHRA. Remember to call Featherlight for all your trailer needs at 800-800-1230. Radio communications are provided by Racing Radios. For all your racing communications needs as well as scanners, call on Racing Radios at 1-800-669-1522. And by LA West Luxury Vans. LA West vans are available at select Ford dealerships nationwide. Call us at 800-786-VANS.
Fans of all ages, hi there. Here at the Milwaukee Mile, West Allis, Wisconsin. Home to this fine racing facility, home to the United States Olympic Skating Training Center right next door to where we sit. There you see the pit stops. LaJoie from 5th to 12th. LePage did not have a good stop. Of course, there were some who did not make pit stops because they were on a different cycle of their own. Dillon and Berrier and Santerre not coming in. Steve Burns has been watching the LePage pit.
As you mentioned, Eli, he came in 7th. He had a hard time getting into his pit box, and then when he did, they had problems with the jack. It malfunctioned. They didn't get the car up in time to change the tires. They do have a spare jack here in the pits, though, so we'll see if they get that problem fixed. Let's go to Randy quickly.
Update on Elliott Sadler. He has now gone from 25th inside the top 15. They took a round of bite out on that stop, adjusted the air pressure. His car is working good. They think they can go to the front. An update on Elton Sawyer. The 44 car is lined up right in front of him. He likes what Elton is doing on the racetrack. He wants him to pass him. He's going to follow through the field. So the 44 is confident in the 38 car.
44, Tony Stewart. The 38, Elton Sawyer. We'll see how they maneuver that. There go those two machines right there. 44 and 38. Stewart and Sawyer. Up front, Mike Dillon, who spun in turn 4 on lap 26.
Look at Ed Berrier in second place there in the 77 car. He wanted Hickory earlier in the year. This car looks to be on a tear right now. It's running very well.
Both of those fellas pitted on that very first caution. That's why they did not come in here.
And actually, Ed Berrier was in on the caution before on lap 45 and took 2 right side tires on, so he even has fresh right side tires here.
Boy, there's a hurricane coming just behind these two. I just see Jeff Purvis there right now trying to get under Santerre. Earnhardt right on his quarter panel there, and David Green coming through turn 4 there. These 3 cars are flying up through here.
You see the side of the 47 car in that one shot we had? Looked like somebody just chewed up the whole side of Santerre's car. Not this right side, but the other side of the car, all stoved in there. Somebody got into him with the wall.
That goes from the left rear tire all the way to the left front. Somebody really made an impression on him down through there.
They didn't get him the wall because that would have been on the other side of the car, but somebody contacted him there. That is second, third, and fourth. Behind Mike Dillon, the race leader, who is 4/10 of a second further ahead. 34, Mike McLaughlin getting around Santerre. He's in 5th. Santerre is on the lead lap. I mean, he's in position there with everybody else.
Earnhardt taking a look on the inside of Purvis. Purvis shuts the door as they head into turn 3.
Brings it down low. They're off turn 4. Looks like he's going to get up beside him, maybe down the front straightaway here. Can he win the race down to turn 1? I believe he's going to take the position right there.
Got the groove going into the corner. So Earnhardt Jr. grabs third from Purvis.
Whoa,
Purvis on the flat.
Oh, man, he was all over the place there. The car got loose on him in the center part of the corner there. Very lucky to hold on. As you see Earnhardt going by barrier there.
And let's see if David Green can do anything with Purvis. He's that yellow car at the right of your screen.
Like every once in a while, Purvis just gets loose down there in the center of the corner, and several cars get by him. He gets it back under control there, and it seems like he's fine the next set of corners.
The cars is working so very well right now with David Green. He's not pushing the issue. He's running right behind Purvis there in the yellow car, the number 36. Just running a perfect line around the racetrack. He waits on the traffic, not getting his car in any kind of trouble. You can see, though, right now, he has a car that can run low when he wants to, and he's getting Purvis now down the front straightaway.
For fourth spot. Got him. Green moves up a spot. Purvis to fifth. McLaughlin to sixth. The sixth car of Bessie. He's running in seventh now. Further back, if you're curious, Elton Sawyer is now 15th. Tony Stewart 16th as they march up through traffic yet again. There's Randy LaJoy in the 74. He's running in 10th. Bill Parsons behind him in 11th. That red and yellow machine. Is there going to be a swap to the lead? Let's see. Dillon.
Right here is where Earnhardt is so very, very good getting up out of the corner. He seems to, you can see right there, Dillon gets loose, and here comes Earnhardt on the inside going into turn 3.
Got him going into the corner. So Dale Earnhardt Jr., who had led from lap 5 through 53, will reassume the lead here at lap number 77. That man likes it. Hope you're enjoying. We're back in a moment. Did the 3 help him, do you think?
No,
I don't think so.
No, he was trying to really get into the throttle and just got in too hard. See right here, watch him in the throttle.
You're right. Yeah.
See, he's wiggling there. Now he wiggles really big. And Earnhardt sees he's in trouble, just turns hard left.
We need to do something on the 00. Buckshot's up to 5th all of a sudden.
Mike McLaughlin also, keep a eye on him because he's coming on and on and on. In the 34. Gary, we think alike. That's good. No, never mind. I know you're going to say something else.
Look good. That looks good. Keep it up. Good and smooth. Be patient.
Watch Buckshot's radio.
No.
No, I didn't.
Let us hear.
All right.
How old is Buckshot?
30-90.
Yeah, thank you.
Got one hung up high there.
How old?
Covered on the outside.
28. Buckshot's going back a bit. Dale Earnhardt Jr. You'd need binoculars to look backward and find the next guy. He is 4.1 seconds back. There's that next group of traffic. Meanwhile, Buckshot Jones was in 5th. Now there's the double naught, as they might say. The Bear Grand Prix is all the way back to 10th spot. Steve Byrne for listening into the team. They don't sound distressed, but he's lost 5 or 6 spots here.
You know, and as we said, Eli, it takes these cars a while to get the air pressure built up. You know, at the top of the show, Buddy Baker talked about the young guns in this series. Buckshot Jones made his debut here in 1995, won his first race here in 1996, and the car he's driving today is the same car he won with at Loudon, New Hampshire earlier this season.
Buckshot, when he won in 96, started in 32nd. Today, he started in 14th. There he is. If you're a Shane Hall fan, he's back from the garage, 16 laps down. So the retirees now, just Dick Trickle, Jimmy Foster, and Mark Krogh. Shane Hall having returned. There's Mike Dillon, 72. Led 10 laps earlier today, the 66th through the 75th lap. Also spun back on lap 26.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is a car that spun out and was sitting backwards earlier. Yeah. And I'm sure when his crew chief, Dean Johnson, made the call earlier to stay out, he knew some of these better race cars were probably going to get by him. But if you can hold this track position in the top 4 or 5, it was a good call on the crew chief's part.
Good scramble, closer up front now. The 6, that's Bessie. The 77. Our winner at Hickory, Ed Berrier, he's not on the lead lap. He's back in 31st position.
Peter was trying to make this thing 3 wide there. He looked to the inside there just for a second. Thought better of it. 2 teammates running nose to tail there. Peter was in the 33. Randy LaJoy and Buckshot Jones now looks like he's picking pace back up again, able to run with LaJoy.
Looks like his car has definitely come in now after we've run about 16 laps, and he's right back there on the rear bumper of these guys. See the 77 car there of Ed Berrier, of course, took those 2 right side tires on. It looks like now that we've got into this run, those 2 right sides just can't hold their own against these cars that changed 4 tires just a few laps ago.
Elton Sawyer, meanwhile, and Tony Stewart and Elliott Sadler. There you see the 38, Elton, the 66, Elliott Sadler. They're all making their way up through race traffic still, trying to crack their way into the top dozen.
Eli, the real race is going to happen when Tony Stewart and Elton Sawyer and Elliott Sadler get up there where Earnhardt's at, because I think they're just as fast right now, but they're contending with a lot of lap traffic. Earnhardt's got a clear racetrack at the moment, so these guys are having a fight, as you can see, a lot of race cars to get around the racetrack, but I think that lap times are just as quick.
We're still plenty early. We're only at lap 89 of 250. Don't forget Tony Stewart, though, in this mix. When you think about it, he's had a 2nd and a 3rd place finish already this year in that 44 car, and they have come on 1-mile racetrack. So that's exactly where we are today, a 1-mile track for that man who is also the point leader in the Cup Boys Indy Racing League. Tony Stewart grabbing the top spot by virtue of super performance at New Hampshire a weekend ago. 90 laps complete. There is the leader by 7 seconds. Dale Earnhardt Jr. by 7 seconds on 2nd place. But again, we are still early. Us or NASCAR?
Yeah.
The whole what? Scoring system?
Yeah, they're showing Dillon in 36.
CNN Motorsports live coverage of the DieHard 250 is being brought to you by Napa Auto Parts.
We won't
got to make an adjustment.
TNA.
Wow. I got to do that in a little while.
What's that?
Wow. Wow.
What do you got, guys?
Hey, guys, I know they didn't make a physical adjustment as far as wedge or anything on Earnhardt's car. Did they make any air pressure adjustment for the looseness?
I'll check. Hang on.
Story around the 74. They like their car. He's just taking his time. This is one of the longer lapped races that these guys run at. He's out there riding right now.
Hey, Larry.
Hey.
1 pound into the right front on the 3 car.
Okay, good deal.
I just tighten it up a little.
Yep.
He said he was loose, remember?
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Aren't you going to say, man?
No, I want to go, wow, wow, wow. And then...
TNN Motorsports live coverage of the DieHard 250 is being brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. At Napa, we keep America running. Welcome back, everybody. There is Dale Earnhardt Jr. He has led the majority of the laps thus far today. Led from lap 5 through 53. Looks like a qualifying lap. I mean, there's nobody else around him. He's 9 seconds up on the rest of the world. What did they do on that last pit stop, Larry?
Well, we got a report that we saw they didn't make any wedge or track bar adjustments. What Tony Ure and those guys did is they put 1 pound of air in the right front. Now, I know the fans at home say, wait a minute, 1 pound of air? But when you're running as soft as you are here and as low as the air pressures are, 1 pound of air can be like increasing the right front spring rate 20 or 30 pounds. And that will definitely tighten the race car up. Now, the story will be when he gets in lap traffic, we'll see just how good, this adjustment really is.
Even though it is a fast racetrack, it is a flat racetrack, and when you're talking about soft, you're talking about very soft sprung, maybe big sway bars, but very soft sprung. So the car gets a lot of roll getting in the corner, gets a lot of downforce, and helps that car keep the tires under.
Well, and that's the thing, teams in Busch and Winston Cup, buddy, we're getting where we run our cars just as soft as we can spring-wise. In other words, we've been saying we're just going to put just enough spring in it to hold it up off the racetrack.
There in the middle of that pack is Randy LaJoie, who won here a year ago. Randy is 7th. Another Randy. Pemberton has an update on LaJoie.
Well, I just spoke with team manager Steve Bird, and he said, this is one of the longer races we run. We want to make sure that we take care of our stuff, not overwork the brakes, not overwork the motor, have something there at the end for this thing so we can run for the checkered flag. They believe they've got a shot at it. They're just taking their time right now. So Randy LaJoie, who has had some problems here in 1998, certainly looking good here this afternoon.
The shortest this race has ever taken is 2 hours and 28 minutes. That's when Mike Wallace won here in July of 1994. So you're right, time-wise, it is one of the lengthier days that the NASCAR Busch Series spends from green flag to checker.
Well, as you watch LaJoie's car, it looks like he really gets in the corner good, buddy, and really comes off. He maybe pays the price just a little bit in the center, but he's really getting in the corner and coming off good.
Taking a look at just what you're talking about, the 74 there. You see in the center part of the corner, he diamonds the corner just a little bit, goes out a little wide, then turns right back to the bottom, but he's got to really runs into the corner hard, but he's in the slowest part of the racetrack, middle of the corner. He kind of lets the car roll through there and then picks up the throttle, and you see right there, it moves right out. Now he'll come off the corner very, very hard.
This is probably a good part of the race to try to show some patience and just get some laps run down. They all pitted on lap 64. The thing about it, they've only got one more set of tires that they can put on under caution, so they know they've got to get this run here up to around lap 150, which is 50 laps from now. So it's a good part of the race to show some patience.
We were listening in on Buckshot Jones radio there seconds ago. Buckshot running in the top 10. In 10th spot right there at the back. Because I can't get off 4.
Or you tell Ricky Pearson just can't get up off the corner now. I don't know if he's a little bit loose there, or maybe the front end's wanting to shove as he puts the throttle down, but he says he just can't get on the throttle. And these straightaways are so long, that will hurt you all the way down the straightaway. Steve Burns, why can't he get up off the corner?
Well, Larry, I just talked to Ricky Pearson, and he said they made an air pressure adjustment to the car on the last stop, and he's, as you said, he's loose, particularly in that corner, so the air pressure adjustment may be a little bit too much.
Now he will grab ninth here from Fedua because Tim didn't get off or through the corner at all.
You're being kind. He just missed the corner and was lucky enough not to spin, but you can see he's back underway now. Tim Fedua loves this racetrack, but his car right now is not sticking the way he wants it to.
102 laps on the board of 250. If you're curious about the series point leader, Matt Kenseth, he is now running in 15th position. Kenseth is. There he is in the 17, just following Elton Sawyer around the racetrack. He spun earlier, you remember, Kenseth did a full 360, then another 180 to boot, but kept it out of the wall.
And as Robbie Reiser said, I don't believe it's going to hurt us that much. And you can see right there, Elton Sawyer, one of the fastest cars on the track, and Kenseth right there with him.
The actual quickest car on the racetrack now is David Green. Go by the computerized speeds at 116.2 miles an hour. He's quicker by just a tick of the clock over Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Last lap of this lap, he's just about identical to Earnhardt. So these guys are running a very concerned. I think they're really pacing themselves, even Earnhardt at the moment.
Remember, too, that was David Green's road course car, as Randy Pemberton showed us earlier. So little Watkins Glen carrying over to the Milwaukee Mile. Good scramble here for 14.
Side by side, they come off turn 4 just in front of Casey Atwood. But this is Matt Kenseth, and you can see underneath him, he didn't get a good run off the corner, falls back in the line.
Some of the youngsters you were talking about earlier, buddy, you've got Casey Atwood in the 28. Elton Sawyer's been around a while, but still a young guy. Kenseth in the 17. That's that young group. Wayne Grubb just ahead of them in the 83. There's Tony Stewart.
All these guys under 30 years old, and I was just thinking about Elliott Sadler. He's 23 years old.
Yep.
Look at Matt Kenseth there. He'd been trying on the bottom. There he was trying on the high side there and had to fall back in line as they got down the front straightaway. You know, this says a lot that he does have a very strong race car. He was sitting sideways in the corner earlier in the race with no caution. He's done worked his way back to 15th. This is the same race car that he won with in Colorado.
Some pit stops taking place now. We're at lap 107. Jason Keller is in, and he pitted at lap 65 the last time. So just a tick earlier than we expected.
Kenseth is so quick in the corner, he's going to try on the outside to get by Sawyer. Sawyer's car's gone off just a little bit. You can see right there, he took a look to the outside, and here he comes on the outside of Sadler down the back straightaway.
He's not going to force the issue, though, because Kenseth is also the NASCAR Busch Series point leader. He's got 20 points on McLaughlin. He's got 52 on Dale Earnhardt Jr. He wants to win the race, but he also is looking at the big picture.
He's going to pass Sawyer on the outside. You can see right now he has a lightning fast car. Right now Casey Atwood's in his path, though. He's going to have to turn under Casey Atwood, it looks like, to try to get by the 38.
Now he's bringing it back down to the bottom as he moves his inside of Casey Atwood. It's just hard to pass on the outside here, buddy.
Clear all around, clear all around.
There you see the top 3 in points and what they have all done in 1998. There's some more of that youth we've been talking about. Dale Earnhardt Jr. continues to show the way. Shane Hall just ahead of him, and Tony Eury looks on, knowing his man is number 1.
Wow.
57 behind the wall.
Are they having trouble hearing me again?
I wouldn't think so.
Y'all hear me okay?
Yeah, you sounded fine.
I was wondering. He said raise my mic up. I thought I... Oh, okay, well, I'll raise it up then. Right there, okay? Huh?
You mean you're not going to pull the normal driver deal? I got it in my mouth.
Yeah, no. Animal.
Yeah, you know, we talked to a lot of them, and a lot of them said, you know, even though this is a flat track, that other than in traffic, you know, we might bring this up, you know, and show this shot when we go back and talk about it.
That'll be good. Stay with Phil, because that's...
Let me see something. Let the telestrator on there.
Will that draw on the black, buddy?
Let me see. No, it's not gonna work. Yeah, well.
Motor mucus and Dukes of Hazzard.
Wait till it turns red and it'll show it. There it is, right there. Rotor. That's a shock, which you can't do. This thing is really bad. The gold thing there is a shock. That's the spring. There's... Well, he ain't got much spring in that thing, has he? Lower control arm.
59 or 57? Yeah, 57, thank you.
Brake line. Yeah, you can see it laying under. That's a good piece there.
Yeah, it's good.
That is good. That's a good shot.
Especially right here where he lays on the brake. I never use a brake. I just let it roll off in the corner.
Not using no brakes.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. continues to lead the DieHard 250 here at the Milwaukee Mile. We are 115 laps complete. Coming up Friday night on TNN Motor Madness. It's a fight to the finish. Pennzoil World of Outlaws will be rolling into North Dakota. You can find out who leaves Fargo with a fistful of dollars. It's the Duel of the Dakotas. Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern on TNN Motor Madness. Part of a sizzling summer week on TNN. And don't forget, for a daily helping of racing, romance, and Roscoe P. Coltrane, don't miss the Dukes of Hazzard. See it weekdays at 5 p.m. Eastern right here on America's Country Home, TNN. Welcome back, everybody. There's Phil Parsons in the 10, chasing the Patty Moise machine. Patty's 3 laps down right now, so Phil will get by her. Phil, as we say, in 10th spot. Let's take a look at what's going on underneath Phil Parsons' car. You want to see how much brake they use here? Let's watch this.
Watch the rotor. It gets red right there. I'm telling you that he's laying on that brake, getting off in the corner. You can see the shock there, the gold piece. Spring just to the inside there.
And watch the tire. It's almost like the tire is basically rolling under.
There you see he's on the straightaway. The tire's up straight, gets in the corner, on the brake. Brakes get hot. See how the tire almost folds under, buddy? That says a lot for a Goodyear tire.
You can see right on the inside there, the sidewall itself straightens up now down the straightaway. As it goes off in the corner, you can see it lay under. It's moving almost an inch inside there.
What did they do before? They just connected that sway bar too, didn't they?
Well, actually, this is on the front end. They unhooked the rear sway bar because he was so loose. Brakes cool down as he goes down the long straightaway. The minute he goes off in the corner, gets on that brake, you see they glow. Off the brake, on the throttle.
Now here yesterday in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race, the DieHard 200, the guys would say they would basically just touch the brake to set the truck in the corner.
Oh yeah, that's a driver talking. Yeah. No, I'm not using no brake.
Now wait a minute, guys.
Let's hear from the driver's side now.
Yeah, well, that's very light on the brake there. If you're really laying on it, it would be red halfway down the straightaway also.
Here you go. Jason Keller brought his car behind the wall, and Randy Pemberton's been checking on it. Randy?
Well, it still sits with the right side jacked up. Jason still sits in the car. Jason, I know this is tough for you. 5th in points coming into this race, but now you sit here. What happened?
Something broke in the rear end. I was only one wheel pulling. We'd made some adjustments and getting the car better, you know, but, we still need a sponsor. We're working hard, and we'll get there.
That's Jason Keller. I cannot tell you how impressive this team is to be doing this without a sponsor. Boy, a great race team, but they need some bucks.
They are 5th in points, as we said earlier, without a sponsor. And there goes Earnhardt Jr. He's just passed Kevin LePage, who is now in 26th, a lap down. We're riding with Kevin.
Look at that unusual groove that Earnhardt is using through the corner there. He's not really laying on the tire. He's letting the car go out the center part, roll through the center part of the corner without just holding it down on the bottom part of the racetrack, really flying around this racetrack.
If you're following Dale Fishline's ups and downs today, he has just taken his car to the garage area. He was running in 35th position at the time. You see across the top of the screen where your favorites are running. We're at 122 laps. Just shy of halfway in this DieHard 250. Next week, Myrtle Beach for these teams and for TNN, along with our trip to New Hampshire for the NASCAR Winston Cup race.
Two best friends right there, Randy LaJoie and Buckshot Jones. They've had a couple of run-ins this year. Now they're side by side getting down into turn 1.
That's 7th and 8th on your screen. I was going to say, it can't happen again, can it? And you heard the spotter say, clear. And the grandstand goes.
And the booth goes.
It'll be halfway this time by for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Next time he'll come to the stripe. He will get the crossed flags from Carl Simmons. Problem for Ed Berrier. He slows on the racetrack. Ed Berrier running in 18th position on the lead lap. He will be coming down the pit lane. There's the leader, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Lance Hooper goes a lap down as we have reached halfway. All right, 77 behind the wall and 70, both 77 and 70.
I don't know why Dale Earnhardt is smart as he is this quick, but he's using all that race.
Yeah, no reason to do it.
You know, that's a feel that you're born with. A lot of people don't understand that.
What do you got, guys?
I'll check on Fishline and Barrier.
All right, 22 cars on the lead lap. The last one is the 8th.
When I get done with Barrier, those guys, if nobody else falls off, then I'll head back up to the 36.
All right.
How many cars do you have in the lead lap, Eli?
22 of them. The 8th is the last one.
Okay.
I haven't seen a lap in a while. Is Elton doing anything?
They've kind of settled down. Elton is, where the hell did he go on this thing?
He's 11.
He's 11.
Stewart's not moving as quick as he was. He's kind of...
But they both pretty well settled in.
They found the home.
Elton is 3rd. McLaughlin and Buckshot are the 2 quickest cars on the track right now.
Elton and
Buckshot?
Kansas. Kansas is running
He's good, too.
Yeah.
All right.
See that?
Yeah, now it's changing. They had some traffic there.
He's 116.
He's the only other one.
We get Ed Barrier. Oil pump belt. Do you believe that for Ed Barrier? Tough break.
Really?
Yeah. Did he win at Martinsville? Or,
he won at Hickory.
Hickory.
Yeah. When we were... Welcome back, everybody. The man on the right, Dale Earnhardt Jr., just puts the man on the left, Bobby Hillin, 1 lap down. That's 22nd place going a lap in arrears. And Dale Earnhardt Jr. just running very steadily as the quickest car still on the racetrack here the last couple of times around the Milwaukee Mile. The attrition rate has grown by a couple more. Ed Berrier, the latest behind the wall. Randy, what's the deal?
Well, after having such a good early year where he recorded his first Busch Series win, was it an oil pump belt, Ed?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the oil pump belt come off. I mean, the car was running great, and we took a chance on pit stops there and got us up there where we were, and the car was just a little bit tight, but the UAW Ford, Lear Ford was running good, and, just a shame. Last time I was up here, the same thing happened, so I don't know what it is.
Better luck next time.
Thank you.
You know, a lot of times, for the folks at home, your passenger car, it has an internal oil pump that's in the oil pan. And of course, these cars, engines run a dry sump system. The oil pump is external and actually has a belt that turns it off the crankshaft. And a lot of times what'll happen, you'll get a piece of debris, a piece of rubber that'll knock that belt off. Of course, all your oil pressure's gone. You can't run that way.
So Ed Berrier done for the day. Dale Fishline is in the garage. Let's take you back so you know what's going on. There's Dale Earnhardt Jr. It's 9 seconds back to second place, but there are some lapped cars in between. That's Bobby Hillin. He just showed you a lap down in 22nd spot. There's a guy who went a lap down a short while ago. Lance Riddler, he's 23rd. Then Jeff Fuller in the 89, and Kevin LePage behind him. Fuller is 24th. LePage is 25th. There you've got the Iron Man of the series, Hermie Sadler, who is now running his 157th consecutive NASCAR Busch Series race today. And then you wait, and you wait. Here comes the next guy in line, and that is Shane Hall. He is in 36th, some 30 laps down after a stay behind the wall. We've still not seen second place. There he is, finally. 10 1/10 seconds behind. That is David Green in second. Then you've got the Ron Hornaday car subbing today for Robert Presley. And there you have Jeff Purvis in the 4. He's running third. Hornaday, by the way, is in 38th. He is being shown 31 laps down. There you go with the 47 of Andy Santerre. He's 27th a lap down. The 20 car, that's Blaze Alexander. He's 28th also a lap down. Further back, there's the McFarland entry. As Mark has been carrying our onboard cameras, he's 29th a lap in arrears. And then you come around to Mike Dillon. He is 4th. Dillon is in 4th. He is 13, make that now 16 seconds behind the race leader. Then McLaughlin in the 34. He's running 5th. Joe Bessie in the 6th. He is running 6th. They're 17 seconds back. Buckshot Jones in 7th, the 00. The 74, LaJoy, he's running in 8th. Then you widen out looking for Tim Fedewa. There he is in the 33, running in 9th. And Fedewa now is 20 seconds behind the leader. And Phil Parsons as well, running in the 10th spot in car number 10. The 63, that's Tracy Leslie. And Tracy, a short while ago, was being shown in 30th. He's still there a lap down. Looking at others on the track, there's Pat Teasdale, the young lady from Canada. She's 33rd, 4 laps back. The 17 is Matt Kenseth. He is in 11th. Right behind him, 38, Elton Sawyer. He's running 12th. Then further back, you see the car of Jeff Krogh. Of course, his brother involved in an accident earlier. Mark's out for the day. But Jeff Krogh right there, still on the racetrack, though being shown a lap down in 31st. There's the 66 of Elliott Sadler, 18 seconds behind the leader in 13th. The 83 of Wayne Grubb, he's in 14th spot, 19 seconds back. Dave Blaney, he's on the lead lap with a 93 car. He's 15th position. Casey Atwood in the 28, he's running in 16th. He is at 30 seconds, just about a full lap behind the race leader, Tony Stewart in the 44. He is in 17th spot. And there is Jeff Green, or at least Mark Green, in the 37 car. He is at this moment in 18th position. And there you see, about to go a lap down. So we're just about 30 seconds around from first to the last car on the lead lap. And you are caught up to speed in the DieHard 250, 139 laps complete. getting tough because it's taken so long for the computer to update now.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. 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 Checking.
72 on pit road.
Can we find out when he last pitted? We know he did.
72 last pitted.
Hurricane. Hurricane Dylan making a stop.
We know he didn't come in on lap 64,
No, he
which
didn't.
is when the leaders was in, so he's probably getting up there around that 100 lap mark. The last caution before that was lap 45.
He pitted in 48 or 49.
Yeah.
140.
Man, that's a long haul. I just got to the David Green pit, but I'll go down there. I mean,
142.
Do I have one here? You're not doing Winnebago, are you? All right.
142 for Dylan. When he went back.
we don't have any scanners. We gotta run. We gotta physically ask them.
Can he make it all the way now?
Yeah.
No scanners in our budget.
But what he needs
We
is
have no
about a
scanners in our
25
budget.
4-lap green flag run
Yeah,
for
he
that
does.
leaders pit.
Mack trucks are furnished by Clement Chevy Mack Sales. For all your truck and tractor needs, call Clement at 1-800-369-MACK. Visit, experience, shop Simpson World, a racer and race fan superstore, now open in Mooresville, North Carolina, Indianapolis, Indiana, Torrance, California, and opening soon in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Race fans, you make the call. New LCI long-distance customers receive 30 minutes of free calling and a calling card featuring participating drivers. Don't delay. Call now, 1-888-TEAM-LCI.
Winnebago Industries, the official motorhome of TNN. Stop by your local Winnebago or Tasca dealer now and see the new models available. For more information on the Winnebago Motorsports team, please call 1-800-643-4892, extension 2. Beautiful day here at the Milwaukee Mile, and the crowd is on hand. It's been a wonderful weekend here. We had a little rain on Friday, but yesterday for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race, Mike Bliss the winner, and today here again beautifully blue skies, temperatures in the 70s. Cannot ask for a better day. The 44 Tony Stewart has gone a lap down. So Tony Stewart now being erased from the leaderboard, the lead lap by Dale Earnhardt Jr. If you're following Jason Keller, we heard the explanation before about the problems he had. He is back on the racetrack now, 39 laps in arrears. But nothing is bothering Dale Earnhardt Jr. This kid's good, let's face it.
I'm telling you, he's reading the racetrack, Eli. You can watch him. He's doing everything he has to do to make the car do what it has to do. He's changed his line since the first part of the race. That you can't teach. You're born with an ability, and this kid has that ability.
Guys, I'm going to tell you, he is talented, he is good, but he's in a pretty good piece of iron,
yeah.
too. You know, I'm going to tell you, Tony, Yuri Sr. and Jr., and those guys, they are right on with everything they do. Their cars work good, their engines work good, they got a good pit crew. They're right on with their race car,
but
too.
But you always feel that way because of your side of the field. Let me tell you something. You throw a brick in there, and it's going to the wall. Okay?
I hear you.
Yeah, but let's think about it. First at Dover, second at Richmond, 10th at Pikes Peak, 8th at Watkins Glen. He's led all 4 of those races, led 9 races already this year. There's just an instinctive feel. There is another youngster going a lap down right there as Casey Atwood in 14th now is going a lap down. Now remember, if you're just joining us, we had a spate of caution flags early. Lap 26, lap 37, lap 45, lap 64. But since then, we have been clean and green. And that, when you get somebody hooked up, that's the worst thing the other competitors can see is clear sailing, because Earnhardt's just mowing him down.
And like you said, Larry, the longer he runs, the better that car is working right now. But he's changed his line. You see right there, he's going right up against the gray part of the racetrack. He's leaving the black part where everybody's put down rubber and oil, so it's slick down there. He's changed his driving style to get the maximum out of the car.
And what that's doing with a 10-second lead, that's saving the tires too for this long green run.
Dale Fishline, we told you, out with a rear end gear problem. There's Mike Dillon, left of your screen on the 72, with the 99 of Glenn Allen right behind him. Allen is in 18th position right now. Dillon in the 72 is being shown a couple of laps back.
Now the reason Mike Dillon is 2 laps down, just remember, he was running 4th a while ago, but he didn't pit with the leaders on lap 64, so he had to pit on 140, put him 2 laps down. Now, he can go the distance on fuel from lap 140, but what Mike and his crew needs, they need this thing to run to about lap 170 or 175, which is when all the other leaders will have to pit. So it was good strategy leaving him out back on lap 64, but what they got to have here, they can't stand the caution or he'll be pretty much be dead in the water.
Andy Santerre is in for a stop here at lap number 151 as you see Dillon on the racetrack. We're getting close enough to that window of opportunity. We'll be starting to talk more about pit stops as Dave Blaney and the Amoco 93 is about to be disposed of by Dale Earnhardt Jr. Blaney's in 13th. And he's still in 13th, but he's now a lap down to the race leader. Back in a moment.
It's by both of us.
Yeah.
Stewart.
Good driver, good car.
Yeah. I mean, each accents the other.
Yeah.
You've had great cars, and things don't work in the driver compartment. You might as well not have it.
And vice versa.
Yeah. Tony Stewart. I would say he needed to stop pretty bad.
Yeah.
Tony right now. Boy, good race cars down. He's got Elliott Sadler next going down.
Green's holding his own, whether it be the
really
right traffic or whatever.
Something.
He's holding his own.
Yeah, 10 seconds back. What are you saying?
He's the only one, if he is.
It's all relative.
4th place car is 19 seconds behind.
Isn't that amazing?
Make careful in the corners.
All right. Tell me something good.
Bam, ba, bam, bam,
Tell
bam.
me.
Where'd you get that tie, Eli?
At McMillan's Big and Tall in Birmingham. All right.
CBS. that's kind of mild for me, I know. Elliott Sadler, you're in trouble, bub. Hey, bub. No, that's not. Flag helicopter. Copter man. Look at this.
We are back, lap 157 of 250 here at the Milwaukee Mile. That is Buckshot Jones on the left of your screen. He's in 6th. 74, Randy LaJoy, he's in 7th. Matt Kenseth in the 17, he is running in 8th. Tim Bidowa is running in 9th spot. However, everybody is paling in comparison to Dale Earnhardt Jr. It's 10 seconds from 1st to 2nd. 15 seconds back to this battle you're seeing right here.
For those who just joined the show, the 17 there, Matt Jensen, has a lot of damage to the right front corner, but this car has been very, very good for him.
Right now, my pit window is 176, so I'm going to start thinking about that.
Listening in to the Matt Kenseth radio, you know what the strategies they're thinking about as he'll grab 7th from LaJoie.
What he was telling him, you know, was basically where his pit window was, where they needed to be on pit road, and, you know, start thinking about what you can tell me about the race car, because this is going to be probably the last set of adjustments coming on this next pit stop.
It looks to me like Randy LaJoie's car is giving up a little bit right now. He's falling back as Kenseth goes forward, and I can see Fedewa was moving right in on him also.
Their second place, the 36 car of David Green. He's 11.5 seconds back, Randy, 11.5 seconds back in second.
Well, Kevin Caldwell talking to his driver right now. They're discussing pit strategy. When will you pit? What will you do? You're having a heck of a run.
Well, we're looking like we're going to go anywhere between 165 and 175 here, and we know the distance. You know, Stanley Pontiac is just awesome. David Green is awesome. The car's real neutral right now. You know, we're really afraid to do anything to it. We want to get as many laps as we can.
Okay, that's Kevin Caldwell. He's got the 94 Series champ back behind the wheel of this machine. They're having a heck of a run. Steve Burns, what's the 3 team going to do?
Randy, I just talked to Tony Uri Jr. He said they're probably going to stop about lap 172. 176 would be pushing it. So look for about lap 172 for the 3 car.
They've already clinched the 5 bonus points Earnhardt Jr. has for leading the most laps today. And he's now led the most laps in 3 of the last 5 races. So rather impressive. He led 121 of the first 150. We're now at lap 162, so he's led 133 of 162 laps here today.
I'll tell you, he's run up behind Bobby Hillin there, just in front of him. You can see Bobby Hillin. Bobby's running quite well, but Earnhardt, as you said just a second ago, he's mowing him down. He's passing great race cars this morning.
What that says, he come into the race 52 points down, so by leading and by virtue of Matt Kenseth not leading, he's already chopped 10 points off of that 52-point lead.
Exactly. Now, Bobby Hillin, you saw just ahead of Earnhardt Jr. He is back on the tail end of the lead lap, but Buckshot Jones now begins to pit. Lap 164. Let's see what the crew does. He'll go to the right side of the 00.
They have it up. They're putting fuel in. Right side tires.
See the windshield guy pulling that tear off, just like going to a brand new windshield there.
You see they're taking on all 4 tires. They made just a small adjustment.
We just saw Mark Green go by. There he is. They tell Buckshot Jones to get going. He does.
Pit under Green, every second is precious, because while you're sitting on pit road going in and out of the pits, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is out there putting more ground on.
Exactly. That was Ricky Pearson. You could hear the minute the jack went down, he hollered, "Go, go, go!" And they don't mean for you to sit there after that.
This here is a lengthy stop. This is a lengthy stop. Here comes Joe Bessie. He's running in 9th right now, Steve Burns. Here comes LaJoie in behind him.
And Joe Bessie comes to the attention of Harold Holly and crew. Joe Bessie told me they've had some spectacular runs, but they can't put a run all together. They've had bad luck on the racetrack or a bad stop, so they're trying to get consistency into this team. The right side tires going on. It doesn't appear that they'll make any chassis adjustments to the 6 car of Joe Bessie. Left side tires now being taken off, and the left side tires are on. Let's check in now with Randy Pemberton.
Well, Randy LaJoie on pit road. 4 tire stops from them. Wedge wrenches in the left side, around a wedge out the left side. Also a track bar adjustment for Randy LaJoie. Back out on the racetrack, we're awaiting David Green's arrival on pit road.
Also, you see Jeff Fuller there in the 89 machine. He slows right here on the main straightaway. Other pit stops taking place. Dave Blaney is in. Wayne Grubb is in. All of this under Green in lap 167. Oh, Fuller has a lot of problems.
Jeff Fuller has a tremendous amount of damage to the right rear corner there. It's not dragging anything, so I don't think anything fell off the car, so look for him to stay under Green.
Here's what happened to him.
There you see him on the high side of the racetrack. Now watch him just get into the wall with the right rear corner. No parts fall off. That's the reason there's no caution.
I had looked up and I saw him slowing. I didn't quite catch that part.
And you know, one of the sickest feelings in the world is if you was Randy LaJoy or Buckshot Jones crew chief, if you've already pitted, the leaders hadn't, and you're looking across and you see that going on, because you know if the caution comes out, you're 2 laps down. There we see Glenn Allen on pit road, right side tires going around, going to get all 4 of this pit stop.
As we mentioned earlier, a former winner here back in 1995 in an American Speed Association race. Just nipped the great champion Mike Eddy by a nose at the stripe. Bit by bit, stops are being made. Lap 169, Mike Cope is in. There's Dale Earnhardt Jr. though. That's blue number 3. Keeps mowing him down.
Always in 14 on the outside. See her move to the outside of the racetrack, giving that preferred line down low to Earnhardt as he comes up.
13-second lead for that fella right now over David Green. 13.1 the advantage. Jeff Purvis is still third. He's 14 and 2/10 seconds back. Mike McLaughlin fourth is 21 seconds back. Fedewa in fifth is 22 seconds back. And Elton Sawyer is now further back still, running in sixth.
Get prepared, we're going to take the 4 tires.
Eli, we just had a report from Matt Kenseth did get into the outside wall, just brushed it. Right now, I think they'll probably bring him in for a pit stop pretty quick. You can see some damage there on the right side, which was already on the right front corner. I do not see anything making the tire smoke, so not really that much contact.
Meanwhile, Elliott Sadler's pit stop just completed. A tire gets loose. The guys retrieve it. Here comes Blaze Alexander. Elton Sawyer is in. All of this under green at lap 172. Not that you guys don't earn your keep, because Morty, Larry Mack, crew chiefs spend a lot of hours working, but this kind of pressure is where you really make it.
Well, again, it really is, and you know, once you pit, until all the leaders have pitted, the worst thing you're facing is if that caution comes out. Boom, you had a good race car, you got a good run. Just because you have pitted a little bit early, you're 2 laps down. And the greatest relief in the world is once you look at that scoring monitor and say, okay, you're back on the lead lap, all the leaders have pitted. I got to believe Dale Jr. is going to be in here in the next 5 or 6 laps. Obviously, I'm sure it'll be a 4-tire stop, and I would, fair to say, they're not going to make any adjustments on that race car. I would think not. Hopefully, they'll get just as good a set of tires as this set has been here.
Now, Elliott Sadler is coming out of turn number 4, and he is going to be black flagged because of those tires that got loose from the screw on the pit lane. That's the word we're getting from NASCAR. Meanwhile, Dale Earnhardt Jr., when's he going to pit? Let's get an update.
Well, Eli, as Larry said, they'll be in just a couple of laps. Now, Larry, I went up to Tony Eury Jr. and said, are you guys going to make any changes this stop? And he basically just started laughing, which I took as a no.
Well, yeah, I can't imagine touching that race car. It just looks like it's flawless out there. And he's already been 175 laps on his race car there. I'm telling you right now that Earnhardt is really setting the pace out here. He's still the quickest car on the computer.
Matt Kenseth, you see he is in. Elliott Sadler now is in for the penalty stop right there, being held by a NASCAR official who is standing right there at the head of the car. He's checking his clock. As Earnhardt Jr. now comes in, it'll be lap 176. He'll cross the start-finish line on pit road, so the stop will be on lap 176. Also, David Green is making his pit stop as well at lap 176. Here, too, comes Jeff Purvis. Steve Burns, it's all yours.
And Dale Earnhardt comes in nice and steady into the pits. Larry McReynolds talked about the experience on this crew. Danny Earnhardt, who is Dale Earnhardt's brother, is the front tire carrier. Good stop. Tony Eury Jr. on the front tires. The jack goes under. 4 tires again. No changes to the number 3 car of Dale Earnhardt Jr. A very good stop. Let's go to Randy Pemberton.
Stanley, number 36, Pontiac of David Green. Right side tires already done. What they wanted to do was wait until Dale Earnhardt Jr. came down pit road. They did not want to lose any laps on tires towards the end of this run. Left side tires down and away, no adjustments.
So So the pit stops under green, hands the lead to Mike McLaughlin. There is the Gould's pump machine, but he's going to have to make a stop as well. We'll reset it all for you when we come back to the Milwaukee Mile. Points now. Right, he led the lap here. Yeah. So he gets 5 points versus Kenseth Steele.
And there he comes, McLaughlin down pit road.
All right, thank you.
I would say all.
Everybody is. All right, that'll make 33. TNN Motorsports live coverage of the DieHard. Assuming he comes around.
There's not a car here this evening.
33.
Going to have any problem.
TNN Motorsports live coverage of the DieHard 250 is being brought to you by Big A Auto Parts. For quality parts, expert advice, and fast service, visit the pros at Big A Auto Parts. Welcome back, everybody. There is the race leader, Tim Fedewa, having inherited the lead by virtue of pit stops by Mike McLaughlin. Scotty Moise has been in. We're now at lap 180, and Fedewa is the leader. At this point, you're taking a look at Earnhardt Jr. going 124 miles. Larry Mack, no problem?
No, I think they'll be in good shape. Again, they was in on lap 64. They've come in the mid-170s here. It comes, you know, with about 70 or 80 laps to go, so they're in good shape.
Well, let's take a look now at the numbers right here. Pit stops, first to third. There you see some of the others. Lance Hooper at a 9th, back to a 21st. And good point, you corrected me there. For some reason, I had us going 300 laps instead of 250.
See, nobody knew that, Eli. I just covered for you.
No, it's all right. Somebody out there is saying that. No, none of the guys. But, yeah, we're at this point, you're right.
Oh, we have trouble down in turn 2.
Blaze Alexander.
Blaze Alexander. Any caution? No. He'll pull away. We remain under green. The young driver from Montoursville, Pennsylvania, Blaze Alexander, continues on his way. He had already made a pit stop at lap 171 11 miles ago. So we continue. Fedewa is the race leader still. He has just 1 6/10 seconds on Phil Parsons. Now, as far as the pit stop sequencing is concerned, remember Phil had made a lot of pit stops earlier. Tim Fedewa, well, he was in with everybody else on lap 65, so we're close to seeing stops for both of those drivers. The 83, that's Wayne Grubb.
There's a difference in new tires and old. You see Fedewa right there. Wayne Grubb's just driving right by him in the corners there.
Grubb's tires already about 27 miles old, but even so, much, much newer than those of 120 miles worth for Tim Fedewa. It's Fedewa and Parsons, then around to Dale Earnhardt Jr. Of course, he'll re-inherit the lead when pit stops are concluded. I had us going 300 damn laps. Son of a...
I was trying to bail you out on that.
I appreciate you did. You did a fine job. But I was going to take credit for my faux pas.
Well, those things happen.
You had me thinking twice.
By the way, guys, Fedewa is in now as we speak. That's okay.
It's a Doreen jam.
Phil Parsons leads again, and we're riding with him. Phil Parsons, our leader, comes to the flag, and he leads another lap. What'd you say? What'd you?
Have a follower. You're clear after 17. Clear.
and 2, they still run pretty much in the black. To about center part of the corner, and then they slip up just a little, right about now. They slide up, back right on. See, it wasn't much.
Made them about a half a
Watch him through. And they go down about straight up. He's coming in the pit. Oh, he let somebody by. Yeah.
All right. Car 54. Hope you can race into the all-new and official store of NASCAR. NASCAR Thunder is now open in cities everywhere. And for the location of the store nearest to you or for any information, give them a call at that number you see on the screen. 615-883-7000. They'll answer all of your questions. And if you have questions about what's happening on the racetrack, how about going online at NASCAR Online, www.nascar.com. Get the scoring, get the updates, all the latest news. We've done the same thing here ourselves in the hotel, logging on to see what's going on in other NASCAR Touring Series. Your 24-hour NASCAR Garage Pass is NASCAR Online. The leader is Dale Earnhardt Jr. He is about to put 9th place Randy LaJoy a lap down if he can. You're riding with Shane Hall, looking forward towards Earnhardt, trying to outmuscle LaJoy to turn 3 to put him a lap down.
LaJoy does not want to go a lap down, but right now, the way the 3 car is working, you can see right there Earnhardt gets more forward grip coming up out of the corner. 74 has to give way.
You know, I can't help but think about what I saw right there. We talked about it in the opening. You don't beat people here getting in the corner. You beat them by getting back to the gas and making that pass up off the corner.
He's going to have to work for it. As you can see, LaJoy is fighting back on the outside. He still hadn't cleared him finally. Now he has about a half a car left lead going into turn 3, but here comes LaJoy back on the outside.
While you folks are away, Vito up pitted at lap 184, and Phil Parsons pitted at lap 188. Phil did lead for 3 laps, so he picked up his 5 bonus points there, but once those stops were made, it cycled around. Earnhardt, David Green, Jeff Purvis, Buckshot Jones, Matt Kenseth is 5th, McLaughlin is 6th, Elton Sawyer 7th, Joe Bessie is 8th. Those 8 machines currently on the lead lap. First and second place now is 20.5 seconds.
Wow.
I mean, we're talking almost, he's 10 seconds away from lapping the whole field.
Well, it was 13 when he made his pit stop. So
there's
that
second place right there.
The pit crew did a great job also there, Eli.
They sure did. There's second place, David Green. 20.5 seconds back. He's running there with Hermie Sadler. Purvis is right behind him. That's going to be a good battle for second and third. But there comes Earnhardt Jr. right there. So he is now within 9 seconds of lapping the entire field.
What this reminds me of is a few years back when Richard Petty would go to North Wilkesboro, and all of a sudden he would start really working that higher groove in the middle part of the corner there. It looked like everybody else was waiting on him. When he'd go up through there, he'd put 2 or 3 laps on them in one race there. So Earnhardt Jr. right now, the car is working great. He's driving it great. I just don't see anybody until they make some changes catching him in this particular race.
Now his last lap was over 170 miles an hour. That is but about 2 miles an hour slower than actually qualified here. And this is almost 200 laps into the race. So they definitely are right on with that race car today.
Here goes Buckshot Jones around Jeff Fuller, who did return to the racetrack after his brush of the wall before. Kenseth in the 17 right behind. Now that's for 4th spot right there.
I tell you, Matt Kenseth and Robbie Reiser, those guys are like never say die. They just keep on turning. And there you hear Robbie Reiser giving him his lap times there, 31 flat. Matt's in 5th position, and Again, he was almost dead last at the beginning of the race after spinning out. These guys just keep on keeping on.
And just behind him is McLaughlin in 5th place there. So these guys are going at it. There's good racing here, although Earnhardt's kind of stinking to show up. Right now, these guys are going at it.
And McLaughlin, remember, has led a lap here today, lap 177. So he's gotten 5 bonus points, while the point leader, Kenseth, has not. As we ride with Cat Teasdale.
That's what we call kind of a pep rally for your driver. He knows he's running pretty well, but you tell him that and kind of gets everything going again.
Well, and he's watching the lap times, you know, buddy, and I heard him tell him it's not pinching it off, and it looks a lot better. And that means he's doing maybe what Dale Jr.'s doing, letting that car drift up in the corner and not trying to hold it down.
I've had my crew chief, Larry, tell me, man, that was a great lap. And I said, why didn't I catch him then?
Yeah, why is he getting smaller?
Everybody being informed as to how few cars remain on the lead lap. We're at lap 198, 52 laps, 52 miles to go.
I have to wonder how good Kenseth would be right now if he hadn't gotten that damage to the right front corner and had to make that stop, spun early in the race, went to the back of the field. He would be a factor, I think, if he hadn't gotten the damage in the early part of the race.
Listening into Buckshot Jones radio, there's Matt Kenseth in 5th, Buckshot ahead of him in 4th.
The second place car can start finish now.
The spread between 2nd place Green and Buckshot Jones.
Start finish now.
Buckshot is 4 seconds behind 2nd place, but he is only 8 seconds away from being lapped by Earnhardt Jr. Watch for Dale Earnhardt Jr. to come through. There he comes off the corner. That's the 8 seconds from putting everybody and his brother a lap down.
Yeah, it's like the good news, bad news. You know, the good news is the 2nd place car is only 4 seconds ahead. Bad news, you're 7 or 8 seconds from being lapped.
I tell you what, that was a good one there. Everybody and his brother. And we have several brothers in this race.
Yeah. That's going to be a good battle, though, right there, 2nd spot. The Green on the left, Purvis in the 4 on the right. We're here at Milwaukee. 49 miles to go. Don't leave us. You've got a heck of a story building. I'm trying to find in the book here, when is the last time a Busch race was won by a guy lapping the field?
Guys?
Yeah.
I don't know what the sense is that you get, but for me, watching this down here, it's just incredible what this kid is able to do. And I mean, I know he's sitting in some good hardware, but don't you just get the sense of watching greatness every once in a while with this guy? Or
Thank
really
you, Randy. I said that already.
I almost want to ask you the question on the air. I mean, it's just amazing.
Well, you probably didn't hear us, but Larry Mack and I had a big discussion about that a while ago.
Why don't you bring up the subject about genetics or you know, I mean, is there anything to it? I mean, you watch other sports.
I said you can't teach that. That's something that...
Yeah, I was going to say, be careful. We're going to bring Al Campanis in here. You gotta
but I'll
be
tell
careful.
you, he's awesome.
Yeah, he is.
Apparently, they didn't hear me a while ago. I talked about that. Yeah.
He's not in here, Bill.
Hey, Larry.
Hey.
How much you think he's up on the wheel? Just like up on it every lap?
Well, you know, I think so, and I think that's the reason he's doing what he's doing to these guys. You know, but he's driving smart. He's driving smart too.
Hey, Larry.
Hey.
He runs 5 hours a week on video. Did you know that?
On the video game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
By Purvis. That guy's gonna wreck him.
In the remaining laps at the Texas Motor Speedway, Dale Earnhardt Jr. got by Joe Nemechek, picks up his first career victory in his 16th NASCAR Busch Series start. Then at Dover, he led the last 60 laps for his second career win, and he enjoyed it, and so too did his dad, Dale Earnhardt, as they celebrated here on TNN Motorsports. There we are live at the Milwaukee Mile, where now Dale Earnhardt Jr. has become the all-time leader in the number of laps led in a single Busch Series race. Todd Bodine had 165 laps led in 5 races. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has now led 166 in today's race alone. And he continues to pace the field over that man, David Green, who is now running in third, having been bypassed by Jeff Purvis. Here's how that came down.
Let's watch Jeff Purvis in the 4 there. You can see behind David Green as they come off turn 4 and down the front straightaway. David Green gets sideways.
Caution on the speedway.
Caution in turn 4. We have a car sideways, and that is Casey Atwood. And say bye-bye to a 24-second lead for Dale Earnhardt Jr. How quickly it comes and goes. Casey Atwood in his debut here at the Milwaukee Mile. Caution at lap 208. We have gone green from lap 66 to 208. And Earnhardt's lead of almost an entire lap has now gone in the Milwaukee afternoon.
You look just behind him, though. Randy LaJoie did not get by him before they got back to the flag, so Randy LaJoie remains a lap down.
Well, 8 cars on the lead lap. Here's what happened to Casey Atwood.
Casey just got high there, got into the outside wall with the right rear corner there. You could see he got in the unused part of the racetrack. There's a lot of tire buildup and a lot of dust up there. If you get up there now, you'll probably spin around.
Folks from Les Care Kitchens on board as the sponsor for Casey Atwood. It's a brand new deal starting today, plus the September 11th race in Richmond and the November 25th event in Homestead, Florida. Under caution for the 5th time this afternoon, and we have gotten ourselves a battle again as Earnhardt Jr. was trying to lap the field, but now he finds himself with some pretty strong horses on his tail. But one guesses that Earnhardt Jr. is still easily the class of the field.
Are we gone?
Yeah.
Hang on.
Eli.
Hang on.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy.
There's nothing there except McLaughlin.
Yeah.
McLaughlin. I think that may be strategic there.
Right. Well, they had nothing to lose. It was like the last 3 cars on the lead lap.
Right.
Yeah. Nothing to lose.
What I was going to tell you, you didn't see it, but Earnhardt almost got bagged.
I didn't see it.
By Glenn Allen.
Yeah. He come real close to
And LaJoie made his lap back up just for a second there.
Yep.
Yeah, but not at the stripe.
Yeah.
I think Allen did, didn't he?
He was probably a couple down already.
Yeah, he was 2 down.
Yeah.
He was fighting.
Boy, he about got him.
And that monitor is screwed up right now. Pay attention to it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, 7.
Is that correct on 8 the same lap?
I think so.
Yeah, 8 is on the same lap for 8 cars.
There's LaJoie, Allen, Sadler. All the lap cars are getting tired. I do that.
Yeah.
Heck, why not?
Maybe they're hoping for making a lap up. Probably not, but.
Buckshot.
Yeah, I can.
3 of the 8 on the lead lap pitted.
Yeah, all the guys at the end.
Right.
Guys, when there's a yellow like that, we can get to it. Let me finish that, just that little second there. Now, I was shutting off.
And everybody that was anybody that was a lap down.
It may be like we was talking. They're only.
Well, what does Steve want to do? Because I was standing here, I could see, you know, Well, that's basically it. That's everyone on the lead lap.
Ooh, what is that?
Welcome back, everybody. We're at lap 212 of the DieHard 250 as pit stops are continuing. Some debris on the racetrack there after Casey Atwood had a spin out on the corner. Let's go down to pit road. Steve Burns has an update.
Eli, there was some activity down here on pit road. Joe Bessie came in, changed 4 tires, as did Mike McLaughlin. Dale Earnhardt Jr., all's quiet down here. They didn't stop. Let's go to Randy Pemberton.
Same thing for David Green. He did not stop. Buckshot Jones did come in. Just about everybody on the tail end of that lead lap did take the opportunity to come down here, put 4 tires on. Buckshot did. Casey Atwood is pitting again. He was on pit road just moments ago after that spin. They're taping up the right side of the rear decklet area. They've had some hammers out working on that. So Casey Atwood in for a little bit of a stay on pit road.
Well, guys, what I see there, you know, before that caution, we had 8 cars on the lead lap. Buckshot Jones, Mike McLaughlin, Joe Bessie, they was like the last 3 or 4 cars on the lead lap. They had nothing to lose by coming in and getting 4 tires. With 40 to go, as good as these tires seem to stay, Dale Earnhardt Jr., David Green, Jeff Purvis, they had to stay out. They couldn't give up that track position.
Well, I tell you what, though, that's going to be a big factor. Do the new tires hold that much better to get them up there and give them a shot at him, because they didn't have a chance, so why not gamble?
Exactly.
Well, we'll all find out together. We're at lap 212 of 250. Phil Parsons getting himself set for the restart. Kevin LePage finding himself now a couple of laps down in 23rd. Lead lap is Earnhardt Jr., David Green, Jeff Purvis, Matt Kenseth, Elton Sawyer, Mike McLaughlin, Buckshot Jones, and Joe Bessie. Those 8 teams on the lead lap. There are all the spotters. They are up on the roof of this 95-year-old racing facility, the Milwaukee Mile.
They probably save more race cars than the caution lights do, to be honest with you. A spotter can tell you where the wreck's at, which side of the racetrack to go on. It's so helpful.
Let's see what Dale Earnhardt Jr. can do. He's just been getting some spectacular restarts today, too.
I don't know whether it's made in that shop at Earnhardt's or what, but Hornaday does it in the trucks. Even old EW gets off to good starts on restarts.
Riding with Kevin LePage, middle of the pack in 23rd spot. Got Jeff Krogh and Blaise Alexander ahead of him in traffic.
Tim Fedewa trying to get that lap back. He does. Down into turn 1. What he needs now, there you see Dale Earnhardt Jr. fighting back on the inside.
Oh, careful.
Meanwhile, second place is side by side. Green and Purvis. 4 is Purvis. He'll take the spot from David Green. And Matt Kenseth also in that mix.
Matt Kenseth underneath Green there. You see him right now taking that spot away from Green.
David had to get off the gas just a bit to save that race car. Meanwhile, up front, Fedewa in the 33 is now the 9th car on the lead lap. He is on the tail end of the lead lap for the moment.
These tires they'll kind of get back together here. You see Earnhardt making a move on the outside. I hope he uses a lot of patience right here, because he has a great race car, and I think after 7 or 8 laps he'll be able to make a move on Fedewa.
A lot of times after a caution, when you don't put on fresh tires, they get awfully close there off turn 4. But a lot of times, you know, you'll get buildup of rubber on the tires, and it takes it a few laps to clean off. And I believe maybe he just got his tires cleaned off.
Yeah, I'd say he's back underway again. But Jeff Purvis in second spot there, the number 4 car, is running very, very well right now. He is really making a move on Earnhardt. He's closed in about 20 car lengths in the last 2 laps.
Earnhardt Jr. cleaned off the tires, dusted off Fedewa. Now has to worry about Purvis, who's closing in. And again, not to overstate it, but in 3 previous 1-mile flat track races, Purvis has finished 4th, 2nd, and 5th. Oh, and Jeff Krogh spins. Hornaday spins.
Yellow is out.
Caution on the speedway. Caution, lap 217. Dale Earnhardt Jr. heading back to the stripe. He'll try and keep Vidawa a lap down. We're back on TNN in a moment.
I think he let him back.
Yeah.
Did y'all hear a count off then?
Yeah.
Did you? Don't know. I don't think I did. Maybe I was looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they let him.
I would have, because he was.
Why push the envelope?
Yeah, exactly. It'll come home someday.
I mean, he's going to be 9th with 30 laps to go.
Now Philip may push the issue here.
I'm going to tell you, how about Elton Sawyer? It's took 220 laps, but he's made it to 3rd.
Yeah, he's back to 3rd.
It's his wife.
With the right gas.
Hey, I'm going to Elton's pit.
Yeah,
All right,
man.
good, Randy, thanks.
I was on my way there before they wrecked him up, crashed him up.
We are back. Race laps winding down towards a precious few. We're under caution. Tim Fedewa did get his lap back, but here's why we're under the yellow. Krogh spins to the outside. Hornaday to the inside. And the yellow flag was waving. That happening at lap number 217. Here's what Kevin LePage saw.
Just looked like it just got away from him there right in the middle of turn 4. Fortunately, didn't touch anything or touch anybody there. You see Hornaday.
Tim Fedewa does get his lap back right there with that move off the corner, as the field now is getting the 1 to go signal when they come towards the start-finish line this next time by.
In my opinion, I think Earnhardt would rather have Fedewa back in the lap where he's way back in the field than on the inside on the restart.
Well, he's gonna line up 9th on the lead lap with 30 laps to go. So, like you say, he'd rather have it back there in 9th than up there racing again to get back on the lead lap.
And look who's there, the 38 car of Elton Sawyer. Remember, we came on the air at 2 o'clock Eastern. He told Randy Pemberton, he said, I'll be coming from the back to the front. It's taken him, well, basically 220 miles to get there, but he's now in 3rd place, and don't know if anybody is a serious threat to grab the lead from Dale Earnhardt Jr. the way the 3 car has been running, but what a performance by Sawyer. Let's go to Randy Pemberton.
Hey, Bob Sutton, sitting here in the pit, you guys have had a heck of a run today coming from the back to the front.
Well, I tell you, it's nice to prove this old Barbasol car run good, whatever fuel it's got in it. I don't know what happened in that deal. I tell you, it don't make any difference. 41st and 3rd. These guys have done a great job today. Elton Sawyer's done awesome. This Barbasol team has been incredible. Good pit stops, good strategy for us, and it's not over yet. I think 30 laps to go, I think we can still do this.
Wow, that'd be something if he could get the junior.
That would be, and if you're just tuning in, not familiar with what we're speaking of, yesterday Elton Sawyer was quickest in qualifying, won the pole, but his run was disallowed when the fuel in the car did not conform to the fuel that NASCAR uses at a NASCAR Busch Series race. They were able to tell that just by doing some very preliminary tests. He was taken off the pole. Purvis started on the pole, and Elton Sawyer started at the very back of the field. Green flag is in the air. Lap 221, complete 222 up on the board. 37 car doesn't come up to speed. Mark Green here on the main straightaway. He doesn't come up to speed, but everybody else pulls away.
Well, right now we're going to see what Jeff Purvis has in the 4 car there running in 2nd place. Dale Earnhardt Jr. built up a great lead, but you can see right now that Purvis is getting off the corner quite well in the 4 car.
Mark Green takes his car to the garage is Earnhardt Jr., Purvis, Sawyer, Kenseth, and David Green battle among the top 5.
You know, even if Elton Sawyer could come out of here today in 2nd place or even 3rd place, that's pretty phenomenal for what they've been through this weekend.
Yep.
See David Green and Mike McLaughlin there battling right now as they come off the corner. They're running for 5th place right there. McLaughlin looks like he has the inside line. But fighting back on the outside. Green goes into turn 1, trying to keep him back.
Can't do it. McLaughlin will grab the 5th spot as Green goes wide. McLaughlin led 1 lap here today, back at lap 177. Pick up 5 bonus points. This is the first year that the NASCAR Busch Series is conforming to NASCAR Winston Cup's point distribution by giving out bonus points for leading laps and so on. And look at this scramble for 2nd.
As Larry Mack just got out of his mouth there. Would that be incredible if Elton Sawyer could have get up there? You see Jeff Purvis, he's done this the whole day long. He goes in the corner, the car washes out, and he gets out of the groove. He lost several positions there trying to get the car back down on the low side of the racetrack.
And particularly in turn 2, that's been the spot for him. And Glenn Allen with some smoke from behind his car.
Get on her. I think there was a little bit of contact between Glenn Allen and Jeff Purvis right there. Meanwhile, David Green got back Mike McLaughlin because he had to check up there because of that contact.
And Kenseth made the move around as well in the 17. So Green is 4th, Kenseth is 5th, McLaughlin is 6th. Earnhardt now a 1-second lead on Elton Sawyer.
Yeah, Elton Sawyer, though, while we were away, you can see he got 2nd place there, running along quite well right now. But Earnhardt has about a 15-car length lead while they were scrambling around back here, sorting each other out.
Elton's best finish of the year was 4th at Pikes Peak. But he does have 4 finishes in the top 11 in the last 5 races. So, as well as Earnhardt Jr. has run from the get-go, that Aiken-Sutton racing team for Elton Sawyer has really come on here in the last handful of races. Lap 226 of 250. Of course, with the restart of a short while ago, it's all clear track sailing now for Junior.
Look at that 3 with that tire mark right down the middle of the 3 there. That kind of looks familiar from... No, yes, that is. Maybe he borrowed that from his dad. What do you think?
I don't know. It does look awful familiar.
We told you Mark Green went to the garage before. Electrical problems, the problem there. Rear end gearing problems for Jason Keller, forcing him behind the wall yet again. So Dale Earnhardt Jr. continues to show the way. We're now just 22 miles from the finish at America's legendary oval.
Okay.
What's wrong with crash? Crashing sounds good.
Huh? Huh.
What time's your flight?
My flight's at 5:30. Well, I was planning to be off at 4 o'clock, so that's okay.
Yeah, that's nothing wrong.
Oh, I'm 7:05. I'm good shape.
Yeah, you're on the same one with me. Yeah, I'm good.
And what the heck? I mean, we're here to work. I mean, if you miss your flight,
Yeah, if we miss our flight, we miss our flight.
Yeah, but what the hell? I mean, you're here to work.
This is what I do anymore.
That's it. This is how we make our living.
I can't go to work in the morning. Yep. I'm going to tell you what.
Book here.
After about 10 laps, does this boy take off or what?
I mean, look.
Hey, Randy.
Yeah.
Hey, Randy.
Yeah, ma'am.
You asked me a while ago about Earnhardt.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something. After about 10 laps, it's like he's like a record. It looks like the needle on a record going around here.
Yeah.
He never gets in any trouble. He don't. I mean, he's just absolutely
Jimmy
perfect.
won it?
Yeah, he's on a string.
He is that.
But, you know, he rolls it in so well, too. You know, you think he...
You've heard what the critics are saying about TNN Motorsports video game. It's called Hardcore 4x4 for the Sony PlayStation and the Sega Saturn system. If you're a racer and you like video games, you need to check it out. It is TNN Motorsports Hardcore 4x4 for the Sony PlayStation and the Sega Saturn system. It's in stores now. Want more information? Just go online at country.com and get all the information.
Eli, the car you could see on the bottom part of the racetrack, that was Mark McFarland, 20 years old. The car blew up coming down the back straightaway. I could see the smoke come out of it.
And there the crew will button up the bonnet on that number 82, and he'll be heading to the garage area. His day is done. They have cured the electrical problems for Mark Green. He's back on the racetrack. If you're keeping tabs on him, he'll be about 15 laps down once he gets back up to speed. By the way, as we watch Earnhardt now with the 2.5-second lead, if you were curious earlier when we were talking about him getting close to lapping the field, it's not been since 1991 that anybody has won a NASCAR Busch Series race by lapping the entire field. It happened at the Orange County Speedway in Rougemont, North Carolina, when Jimmy Hensley won by a full lap over everybody. Robert Presley was second. Remember that?
Right. And the unique thing about it, that was done at a half-mile racetrack. Dale Earnhardt Jr. was about to do it at a 1-mile racetrack, so that's saying a lot.
I always go back to that day at Dover when Harry Gant not only lapped everybody one time, he lapped all the way up to 4th place 2 laps. I'll never forget that day. There's Elton Sawyer. He's now 2 7/10 seconds behind, having a magnificent run. But it all pales in comparison to Dale Earnhardt Jr. today.
Talking about Harry Gant, well, the old car was just a missing off the corner. And
yeah, he missed himself all the way to the victory. If you're curious about Tony Stewart, remember Tony missed the driver's meeting today at the start of the back of the field. There he is in 12th. He's a lap down to the race leader. And there's Tony. Leader in the Indy Racing League, that boys IRL. Coming back to TNN Motorsports later this month from the Charlotte Motor Speedway on Saturday night the 25th.
Tim Fita with a 33 car there, made his lap up. He moved up to the 8th position. Of course, still on the lead lap now after making his lap up under that last caution.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., Elton Sawyer is second, Jeff Purvis third, David Green fourth, Matt Kenseth is fifth, Mike McLaughlin sixth, Buckshot Jones 7th, then Fidua in 8th, and Joe Bessie in 9th. Those 9 teams on the lead lap.
Boy, you could see where his power's out there as he comes up out of the corner there and passes Wayne Grubbs. He looked like he was running 15 miles an hour faster because of the forward grip that car was getting right out of the corner.
Well, Grubb was running 112 miles an hour, 112.7. Earnhardt on the last lap, 116.6. So he is about 4 miles an hour quicker on that last lap.
Yeah, that don't sound like much when you say 4 miles an hour, but look, it's about a 15-car length lead in less than a lap.
You know, as we watch this car go around, I couldn't help but think a few laps ago, I'm sure it's just a matter of time, probably obviously already going on. The question's going to come up about this 3 Busch Grand National car. What are these guys doing? It's almost like the 24 car. What are those guys doing? And again, being a little bit close to this operation with, of course, Dale Earnhardt owning this car, they've just got the whole package together. They've got an awesome race car. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is on top of his game. The engines are good. They've got the whole package going for them. And when you do that, you lead over 200 laps today.
I just wonder how many race car drivers have been to a racetrack like the Milwaukee. As tough as it is, it's like going to Darlington for the first time and winning. This is the first time this kid has ever been to this racetrack, and to put on this kind of performance, let me tell you, we're seeing greatness right here.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. is showing the way. Those of you who are just tuning in to see NHRA today, that show won't be seen this afternoon due to the length of our DieHard 250, but certainly next week, Steve Evans, Bob Fry, and the guys will be back with you. NHRA today will not be seen this afternoon. 9 miles to settle it. well, actually, let's say about 4.5 minutes to settle it. It's been settled a long time ago. We're just letting the numbers click off.
Yeah, he got the 8 to go then, and he's probably going to encounter maybe 1 or 2 more lap cars. All he needs to do is just safely get around this racetrack. Don't push the issue with lap cars, and he'll come home with his 3rd victory of the year.
You know, in all seriousness here, we're talking about domination. You know, he'll lead well in the 200-mile range here. It's so strange. I don't care if it's a veteran, a youngster, whatever. It's just so strange to get a guy hooked up all afternoon. I mean, 2.5 hours worth of not bobbling, not having a problem. Normally a guy will lead 100 laps, 50, whatever, and then come and go a little bit. Not here today. This is actually a remarkable thing to me, too.
And the other thing, this team will probably stay hooked together for many, many years right now. And when they come up in the Western Cup, look out, boys, because he's going to make it tough on you, Larry.
Here's a great battle right here for 3rd spot, though. Purvis and Green. Jeff Purvis and David Green, they've been going at it here back and forth.
Purvis still running that wide line through the corner there. You can see David Green down on the bottom side here. He seems to be now getting a little bit quicker through the corners than Purvis.
Purvis is handling down that straightaway pretty good, though. He does get the car pointed. Gets up off the corner good right there. And, of course, when you get up off the corner, it's going to run down these long straightaways a lot better.
You know, we were talking about David Green. Everybody knows that he was a Western Cup driver and he's moved back to the Grand National Division right now. Several drivers have had to do that in their career. It's not that he is not qualified to run a Western Cup car. It means that he's going back there, get a little bit better, maybe get an opportunity again. I've watched Mark Martin, one of the greatest race car drivers ever. I mean, he made 1 pass at Western Cup, didn't make it, went home for a couple of years, come back, Jack Roush hired him, and the history. I mean, the man's been one of the best race car drivers around.
Look at Chad Little when he came back to the NASCAR Busch Series and won all those races and now returns to NASCAR Winston Cup. Yeah, no embarrassment at all. Come back, get a little more seasoning, run some more laps, get right back. We'll see David Green again in NASCAR Winston Cup, no question.
He's come back in fine fashion. Again, looked like, you know, he's on the verge of 2 straight top 5 finishes here as he's come back. So he's come back in full form.
9 teams on the lead lap. Dale Earnhardt Jr. just 3 miles away from his 3rd win in just 26 career races.
Lead is the most fragile thing in racing also. You go down in the corner, 1 part off another race car, you run across a punctured tire. There is no such thing as a locked-in victory. But this kid today deserves it, I tell you.
They've got the trophy ready to present to the winner. And if you said, hey, wait a second, this is not his 26th race, it is. Remember, he ran a race in 96 and 8 races in 1997. But nevertheless, potentially 3 wins here in that short a period of time. Earlier today, Joe Bessie led 4 laps. Purvis led 11. Dillon led 10. McLaughlin led a lap and Fedewa led 6. Bill Parsons led 3. One more time around the Milwaukee Mile. That's the battle for 3rd. Purvis holding off David Green. But Dale Earnhardt Jr. has been the man of the day.
He can almost coast from there. You see the car, it looks like it has for every lap around here.
He's led 209 laps, and the Intimidator's son is the dominator today. Dale Earnhardt Jr. wins at Milwaukee. Let's see, 3rd place, it'll go to Purvis. Green will come home in 4th, Henseth in 5th. Sawyer hangs on for a hard-earned 2nd place today. Yep, the Earnhardt family is back to victory lane again, and we will be there as well. When we come back to the Milwaukee Mile, the DieHard 250 is in the books.
Good job, Larry.
Oh, everybody did good.
Uh-oh. Don't wreck it.
John Force is here, it sounds like. No. I said the Earnhardt family is back.
I watched Brandon LaJoy killed his car at Rockingham.
What's that?
Did you see him? Brandon LaJoy in Rockingham?
Yeah. I think he wanted to, though, with that particular car. Now, let's see. He won at Texas, and his dad was there, and he won at Dover. His dad. This will be his first win, as Martha pointed out, without his dad here. Is that right?
Right, yes, yes. Maybe he's picking it up by satellite.
Yeah. Well, he won at Texas. His dad was there to watch. He won at Dover Downs Speedway in Delaware, and his dad was in victory lane hugging him. Well, Dale Sr.'s not here today, but Dale Earnhardt Jr. holding up the family name quite well, thank you. He led 209 of 250 miles as he wins in his first trip to the Milwaukee Miles. Steve Burns, it's all yours.
And Dale Earnhardt slaps hands, waves to the fans. Now, Dale Earnhardt Jr., I want to know, you've never been on this racetrack. How did you and this race team dominate today? Unbelievable.
Well, this old race car here, I can't say enough about the AC Duco Chevrolet Monte Carlo. Tony Sr. and Tony Jr., man, they put an excellent setup underneath the car, and we worked on it a little bit in practice and qualifying, and I didn't know we was going to be that good. Tony told me we were, but I didn't think we was going to be that good.
Well, how about that driver? Again, you've never been to this track. That feels pretty good, huh?
Yeah, it makes it easy when you got such a good old race car like this. I mean, it's the car we led so much with at Nazareth, and crashed it there, you know, and wanted to finish good with it. And it's a good piece.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Eli?
Quite a run for Dale Earnhardt Jr., and he'll also become the 8th different Milwaukee winner in the 8 races here at the Milwaukee Mile. That streak continues intact. He was talking about his assistant crew chief, Nick Piz.
That was excellent. He reacts to the camera very, very well.
He hadn't even broke a sweat out, had he?
No.
That's the wettest.
No, his hair wasn't wet. They had to wet it with the Gatorade.
The stuff, yeah.
Oh, man.
That was dominating.
Well, they might as well get used to it, because it's going to be a steady diet, I believe.
I believe so. Yeah, I believe.
What about the points?
All right. All right. Ote, whatever you'd like.
I don't think he...
Back at Milwaukee, where they celebrate in victory lane with Dale Earnhardt Jr., but I dare say there's a guy who's deserving a smiling or two today, as Elton Sawyer started in the back of the field, and there he is coming home in second. Randy?
Elton Sawyer, that was some kind of run from the back of the pack.
Well, I had my mind last night. I was coming to the front, come hell or high water, and I just didn't save enough when I got there, but it was a great effort, Bob. Everybody in the pits did a great job. I can't say enough for Barbasol. You know, yesterday we kind of embarrassed them and ourselves, and today we needed to redeem ourselves. Goodyear tires are great. Roush motor, awesome.
Okay, won't be the last time we'll see this guy go to the front this year.
No doubt about it. Let's check out the NASCAR Busch Series point standings. Things have tightened up just a bit now, as Matt Kenseth came in, had 20 points on McLaughlin. That's the same, but Dale Earnhardt Jr. has cut his deficit from 52 to 27 points. Randy LaJoy backslides a little bit, and Elton Sawyer takes over 5th from Jason Keller. Actually gains 2 positions in that exchange.
Again, you know, what a roller coaster weekend for Elton Sawyer. Again, he elaborated on it, you know, sat on the pole, taken away. I think he finished the best he was going to finish here today with what we saw with that 3 car.
I don't think any question. He got everything he could out of that number 38. Back with more from West Allis, Wisconsin. We're at the Milwaukee Mile, live on TNN Motorsports. All right. Tell me something good.
Boom, ba-doom, boom, boom.
Tell me. Tell me that you like it.
Yeah.
Tell me something good.
Yeah.
I thought they'd be tired by now.
Hey, we're just getting going. Hey, why don't you take this home to Brooke or to
What are we doing?
Brandon?
Someone had laid one here on my thing earlier. So why don't you
they
take
got
it
one
to
for
yours?
each.
Take that in
It's
yours.
just some more crap to collect.
Where did he finish?
All right, so we're
Okay.
Wow.
So we're doing Purvis now.
What about Green? Where did he finish? Yeah.
So Randy is with Purvis.
10-4.
All righty.
And Eli, you and I run like thieves.
Yeah. We will have to make one quick stop.
Okay.
Oh, I hope not.
No. Just until next time. Until next time, so long.
What she said for the final time. Like going to the airport. Why do they call it the terminal?
Yeah, don't.
Oh, you're a sick man.
Yeah, that's good, though. There are folks beating the traffic by taking the Highland route out of the racetrack. Yeah. Here at the Österreichring. Here on the State Fair Complex, the Wisconsin State Fair Park in Milwaukee. Fans filing out and enjoying their beautiful day here. Jeff Purvis came home in 3rd today, and think about it, 4 of his top 5s this season have been on 1-mile flat tracks, and it continued today, Randy.
Yeah, I think he likes the flat tracks, Eli. What about it here to Jeff? Excellent run this afternoon.
It really was. You know, it's great for Lance because, you know, we didn't have a good run last week on that road course. But this Phoenix crew, they just put out a good race car every week, and we just didn't have as good a race car as that number 3. And hopefully next week we'll be figured out a little bit more.
That's Jeff Purvis. He said that's one of the oldest cars in their stable, too, but he made it work today.
He sure did, coming home in 4th place this afternoon, ahead of David Green, excuse me, in 3rd place, ahead of David Green in 4th, and Matt Kenseth in 5th. Back to wrap it up on the Milwaukee Mile after this. Thank you, Mr. Slobodinsky. See you in New Hampshire next week.
Eli, that thing worked all day long.
Yeah, it worked all day long.
Thank you, Miss Oliviter.
Yes, Miss Cold
You
Keeper.
cold-natured lady.
Oh, man, it wasn't cold in here today.
It was beautiful
nice.
today, yeah. Oh, my.
Tell me something good.
Daryl. It's up to you. You got the time clock, not I.
One question.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I'll see you there.
We'll be there.
We'll be there.
Luden. The Bear Country.
When do you go up?
Thursday.
I got to go up Wednesday. I got to go to that Thursday. What do you call that big fair? They have the street fair in Concord on Wednesday night. TNN's got the truck coming in. They give tours to the truck, and got to sit there and see the But it's fun. Good fun. Claude and Elise are coming up too.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. TNN Motorsports live coverage of the DieHard 250 from the Milwaukee Mile has been brought to you by Texaco. Texaco, a world of energy. Back in Milwaukee, they still celebrate in victory lane with Dale Earnhardt Jr. Steve Burns, though, is caught up with the NASCAR Busch Series point leader, Matt Kenseth.
That's right, Eli, and he came home 5th today. Matt, you got turned around early, but you came back, rallied back, finished 5th.
It was an exciting day anyway. I got to see a lot of different race cars, but Laco Chevrolet was pretty decent. The crew did a great job. We weren't near good enough to win the race. We maybe had a second place car, but got spun out, got myself behind, and had to get all the way back up to the front. So we'll take 5th and go on to Myrtle Beach.
And top 10s are what it takes to win a championship, Eli.
Indeed it is. That consistency has yielded the point lead and another strong top 10, as Steve said, for Matt Kenseth today. Taking a look at who finished where, we've shown you much of the top 10 here this afternoon. Behind them, Phil Parsons comes home with a hard-earned 11th place run. They made a lot of strong pit stops early in the day, got things all squared away. There's Tony Stewart. Kevin LePage, a mixed bag of a day for him. And guys, didn't talk that much about Tracy Leslie, but he had a top 20 afternoon.
Well, he soldiered along, did a great job. But let me tell you, finishing here means something. It's a tough racetrack to survive on.
There's Patty Moise back in 30th position. Jamie Foster, Mark Krogh had problems early today, and they were early retirees. First out of the event was Dick Trickle from Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin. He'll be coming home in 41st position. Coming up next will be one more cast. That is coming up next here on TNN. Hope you can stick around. Shaw Grigsby with one more cast coming up as soon as we move aside. NASCAR Busch Series goes from here now down to the Myrtle Beach Speedway, and that's a good solid track, as we said earlier, for Dale Earnhardt Jr. like he needs any more encouragement.
Yeah, going back home, and you know he's going to run well there. He won his first race ever there at Myrtle Beach Speedway. I'm looking forward to watching that, and we'll be in Loudon, New Hampshire next weekend on TNN also.
Right, we've got the doubleheader on Saturday, the NASCAR Busch North Series and the Featherlight Modified Tour. That's at 1 Eastern on Saturday. Brett Bodine will be joining us for that on the air. Myrtle Beach on Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern for the same NASCAR Busch Series teams. And of course, next Sunday, the Jiffy Lube 300, 1 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be able to talk about what you're doing down there, Mr. Larry McReynolds.
Oh, yeah, we'll be there in Loudon. Of course, had a good run there last year with a 3-car, finished second. Looking forward to first short track race with Mike Skinner, and enjoyed being here with you guys today.
Well, we want you back in our house anytime you have time to play.
Thanks.
Please do join us. Big weekend here in Milwaukee. A good run yesterday for Mike Bliss, winning the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race.
Mike Bliss come back from injuries at Texas Motor Speedway. Did a great job yesterday in the trucks. Took his number 2 truck to Victory Circle.
The beautiful city of Milwaukee. They have been most gracious hosts to us here this weekend. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage. A big thank you to Buddy Baker and Larry McReynolds. Joined me up here in the booth. Randy Pemberton and Steve Burns were down on the pit lane and in the garage area. I'm Eli Gold. Congratulations to Dale Earnhardt Jr. and the entire AC Delco team as we bid you so long from the Milwaukee Mile in West Allis, Wisconsin.